Hello! Hello everyone and welcome to Psycholonials. First chapter of Psycholonials. That is the subject of today. Let me get caught up on chat. Because I went downstairs. Yes, I apologize for my lateness. I was downstairs talking to my mom. Yes, hello and welcome, Recursive, Noah, Phoenix, scrolling, Beef, hello, scrolling, Corencio, welcome, hello, Max, and hello, anyone viewing anonymously. I'm pretty sure I didn't miss any names in there. Let's see, just skimming, was already there. Yep. Yeah, I'm just gonna trust that y'all were being nice. Psycholonoscopy. Fucking hell. Hello. Getting psychological and prep. Oh, I will tell my mom that you say hi. I will, I promise. I'll tell her tomorrow she's going to bed. Imagine Garfield Leviathan said some of the deepest parts of the internet. Anyway. Yeah. So, greetings everyone. It is time to start Psycholonials. I played it on Thursday, and it sure is something. We'll talk about it as we go through. I always forget to start these. I wish that they started automatically, but they're a separate program. They're not built into my microphone settings in OBS. So if I turn off my mic in OBS and I'm talking during pre-stream or during a break, y'all will get the closed captions for whatever I'm saying when my mic is technically supposed to be off. So yeah, I gotta watch that. Might as well share this here too. Went on the internet and found this. Semi-bi-weekly. I mean, it's mostly weekly. I should probably get the actual schedule on screen. I forgot to. That would be an important tab to get. Yeah, so here's the release schedule. It is mostly weekly. There's like 2 other weeks in here that don't have a volume coming out. It will be mostly weekly. Sorry, I'm just trying to get, it's been so long since I've had links to put in my little document. If you're watching this on YouTube, all of the sites that are shown on screen will be linked in the description. Stream start text. Fuck. Okay, I'll take care of that for sure after I set this link up. Make me say something and then end stream. Which one happens first? I guess I'll do the make me say something first. Rev describing Psycholonials to Mike. See, Rev and Rev's chat reactions to it are the outliers. The spider is George, if you will. But that's just your impression. Yeah, I don't know. What those impressions were, because I didn't watch that stream, because at that point, I got the notification, but I hadn't actually played the game yet. Yeah, let me get this off the screen. Boop, boop. But, yeah, I mean, there's been, I guess, mixed reaction. But, yeah, we'll get more into. From what I could tell, they found it too depressing. Okay. I mean, I think that's fair. I mean, you know, if that's not your cup of tea when you're looking for something to read, it's very. I'm struggling to find a singular word to like. Knowledge is all second or third hand. Rev found it. Well, he found the main character insufferable. Oh, I kind of did too, and we can talk about that as you go through it. But I felt that too. I don't. Wait, what? How familiar is it's very Hussie. It is. Writhing Leku, hello. Parts you saw. It is very 2020. He seems like something you'd love to hear about, but never want to meet. Yeah, that kind of hits it too. But yeah, I mean, you know, scroll back up to the link you dropped off to get, if you want to get what. Oh right, I was gonna open that, and then I've just been pulled in 30 different directions trying to figure out getting all this stuff started. Oh, it's that's good. Very anime. I'll put the link in the video description on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube and you want to know what the fuck that means. But yes. Talked about it with Mike, someone who's never read Homestuck and only knows Hussie through Rev's following him. Oh god, yeah. And fuck god, the Rev and Mike Homestuck reading streams are just like fucking wild. It sounds like you hated this. Oh yes, that was another thing that I had on a list of things to talk about. Happy Lunar New Year to lovely folks who are celebrating the Lunar New Year. Indeed. I hope you're able to celebrate as best possible in present times. Yes, happy Lunar New Year. And no, so this is not a first time read through. I did read it through on Thursday. I have already read through. Mike read 17 pages of Homestuck with Rev on stream and somehow managed to make an amazing Baby Is You reference at the exact same time, and now he's a cat boy. Nice. But yes, I have read Psycholonials before. We're doing chapter 1 today because it's the only one that's out, of course, at the moment. The soundtrack is available on Bandcamp, so that's neat. I had this open because I thought about playing it for pre-stream, but there's only 3 songs, and we're going to be listening to all 3 of them on repeat for the next 2 hours. So I figured I didn't really have to play the album for us to get some good appreciation of it. But if you are interested in hearing more of those tracks, they do have an official Bandcamp page. Mike is a VTuber? The original VTuber. What? Does he have like an actual VTuber like rig or what? Nothing about this and it will almost certainly pass out soon. We got some stuff. We got community news. Oh boy, do we have community news this week. Year of the Ox. Sweet. Ox baby and a Taurus. Your power. Gamer Slug and a turkey and a shitty Sonic PNG. Back when Face Rig came out, Mike did a bunch of stuff with it. Oh yeah, so Noah, VTubers are like streamers who use a like an animated face rig software to rather than have a camera of literally themselves, they have the camera set up so that it detects like their facial movements and body movements, and the animated character moves, and that's what's on the screen. Is that a sufficient description? I feel like I don't know. Pictures might be helpful. VTubers recently exploded because there's a lot of like Japanese VTubers, and they gained a lot of English fans, and now English like streamers are doing VTuber stuff. How do I do? Okay, good. Because you did a Google search for VTuber, and I was like, I don't know how much help any of these are actually going to be. Oh god, Jabroni-chan. Oh god, I think I saw something about that in... Oh, I didn't see that. I saw something else. Oh, wow. Here's, that was what it was called. Yeah. That is the formal name. That was Vinny. Bridget Brody Mike is Big Jabroni for obvious reasons. Vinny's the sauce boss, the vocalist. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Oh, yeah, this was the other thing that I wanted to pop a link for. The 2021 gender census is now open. This is a census that has been growing and growing since I think it was 2016 was the first year. Maybe a year or two earlier than that. But basically it's for specifically non-binary individuals, and they've been tracking trends in language use, specifically with English language terminology. So it's really neat seeing the results every year. And if you are a non-binary person and would like to give your 2 cents as to what words you use to describe yourself, basically, it's pretty short, really, because it is just asking, like, okay, what words do you use to describe yourself, pronouns, all I can think of is honorific titles, and I know that's not the right one, but, like, titles on documents, like, it's just tracking the trends in that, and you can look around on their website there and see the results from the past years as well. So I just wanted to give that a shout out, because that's something I've been filling out every year for a few years now, and it's really cool to see the results. And now it's time for this. Who's excited? You would be a cat boy. Yeah, people do really wild stuff with their VTuber personas. So these are all sold out. Because we got this. We have this. My favorite, a giant Hussie text post. Oh, I mean, this one, no, haha, never go wrong, ever. Yeah, this is not a good giant Hussie text post because it's, yeah, I mean, I'm sure a lot of you are probably already read, oh god, Sweet Jabroni and Hella Rev, that's good. It's just the link that Recursive sent. Sorry, I'm just getting, there we go. Okay, now everything's in the fucking document. Alright. So, we're going to give it a read, we're going to give it a talk, and then we're going to start Psycholonials. Okay. Future approach to Homestuck Squared. Homestuck Squared is going to be completed, but the Patreon will not be charging patrons anymore. The account will be frozen and no additional patrons will be accepted, but the ones currently registered are welcome to stay and receive notifications about the future of this project if the team is inclined to post any. The plan now is to have Homestuck Squared finished, but without a regular update schedule. Previously saved Patreon funds will be used to privately commission the team to finish the story. It will all be posted at once when it is finished, and there will be no updates until this happens. I expect that it will take a long time to finish the story. This is because I am specifically instructing the team to work slowly. So, no more Homestuck Squared streams for who knows how many years, I guess. That is what is happening with Homestuck Squared at the moment. I originally agreed to let this project move forward entirely based on the presumption that it would be an enjoyable experience for the team involved. It's not like I had a burning need to release a continuation of the narrative or a formal sequel, which is never how I viewed this arc. The project mostly came about because I picked up on the enthusiasm the original creative group had for the idea, and I also sensed that energy was being reciprocated by the particular state of fandom at the time. But since then, I've observed it's been pretty far from an enjoyable experience for the team due to the way members have been treated by large segments of the fandom, and this pattern appeared to surface almost immediately after the project launched. This put me in a state of conflict about the project ever since, because I like the content quite a bit. Some have lamented that it doesn't feel much like the original series, but it was never supposed to. I've never once invited anyone to work on a Homestuck project with the hope they would perfectly clone my style or approach to making content. I feel that it is neither possible nor desirable. So anytime I invite anyone, the only real standard I want them to meet is to bring their own voice and perspective to the work, even if, or sometimes especially, this results in significant departures from the expectations for the characters fans typically have. Like pretty much everything else that's been released over the last few years, I think Homestuck Squared has satisfied that purpose very well. Yeah, so creative direction stuff. Some agree, some don't agree, but I don't think that's the most important part of this post, which is why I was kind of peeved to see some people grabbing onto this as their sticking point in all of this, and harping on all of this, when that's clearly not the point of the decisions that were made, and we're getting to that part. So there has been conflict between liking what's being done, not wanting to waste the work or disappoint those who enjoy it, and the chronic abusive treatment the staff have received while trying to work on this story. I admit I've been at a loss on how to handle this, so I've just let it ride for a year or so. To some extent, it's part of any project like this to put stuff out there and receive criticism, and I'm sure the team understood that. But I think there's a line where criticism crosses over into more abusive expressions, and I've observed this has happened way too often. If it were just me making it, I don't think it would even occur to me to have a problem with it, because I'm so used to wild stuff coming at me from doing this for many years prior. I view attitudes towards me very differently than those I invite for collaboration. I've done this so long, and hostility towards me barely even registers. If I inexplicably log on to Tumblr appearing to resemble some sort of extravagant clown, make a few shitposts, and I'm met with literally thousands upon thousands of comments about feet, it's pretty easy to laugh it off, because that's exactly the type of stupid shit I expected to see. I've just always worked with those type of contentious interactions in a way that is inseparable from whatever strange performance is connected with the content I happen to be making at the time. But it's a very different situation when I see stuff directed at the people I work with. The things that I see my co-creators and friends have to read are a lot more alarming. One major problem here is the people I work with are mostly women, many transgender, many are people of color. So the stuff they get is especially vicious because the people give them shit usually targeting this. The people giving them shit usually target the sensitive features of their identities in ways they don't with me. And I'm not just talking about obvious stuff like calling them slurs or anything. It's more that I've noticed people having clever ways of using people's identities to bully them in less conspicuously bigoted ways. They always go a little harder, a little more critical, manufacturing ways of blaming them for things they have nothing to do with. Stuff you start noticing when you see way too much of it. Much of this stuff even crosses into physically threatening territory. Some people I work with get multiple threats every week, and it's just become a routine part of their lives while being involved with Homestuck. All the above treatment I'm referring to is not focused on a couple people. It covers everyone contributing to the full range of Homestuck projects over the last several years. And I don't think that's what contributors were signing up for, or at least I never wanted anyone who takes on official work to feel like it's an essential cost of participation. But I've never really known what to do about this, because it's very difficult to control fandom behavior, and if you ever try to police anyone's conduct, it usually backfires. The worst offenders out there almost seem to see it as a challenge to go harder. So usually I leave these things alone, since the only alternative is pulling the plug on certain projects, which is essentially what I'm doing here, while taking steps to make sure it gets finished in the background, because I really don't want to see the work wasted. My only criteria for the completion of Homestuck Squared is that whoever is involved the rest of the way just has a good time with it, and ends up feeling like they made a good story. If the team is happy with it, then so am I, and nothing else about it matters to me. Especially not sticking to a schedule or satisfying fandom demands, whatever those even are at this point. Since this post is appearing on Patreon, I should say any reference to abusive fan behavior isn't including current patrons, obviously. I can only assume anyone willing to donate to the project for this long would hold a very sincere attitude about supporting this project, which I greatly appreciate, and I'm sure the Homestuck Squared team does as well. There's probably more to say about this, but I'll leave it at that for now. If there's anything to add later, I may address it in an internal note to patrons. Remember that if you want to remain a patron, you will never be charged again. I'll consider ways to thank the patrons for hanging in there all this time and supporting the team. Maybe some free stuff. We all appreciate your support. Andrew. Understood where he's coming from. Yeah. So, like, I don't even... Oh my god. Like, I'm not surprised, but just beyond disappointed with the fact that behavior has gotten so far that they feel they need to completely shut down operations because of the harassment that the team is receiving. It's fucking atrocious. And you know what just made me absolutely explode with some of the god-awful responses to this. Like, one, of course, I talked about earlier, there was, one person who I saw hyper-fixating on that paragraph about, the intent and the way the characters were written and being like, well, that's not what this is for, and if you da-da-da-da, and, like, all this other, garbage. And it's like, that's not the fucking point here, you idiot. I saw folks saying that it's his fault because he didn't manage the fandom well enough, as if it is possible to manage all of social media. Like, what? I saw someone saying that they're fucking victimizing themselves to avoid dealing with legitimate criticisms. Like, are you fucking kidding me? They're receiving death threats. Like, that is documented. That is the kind of abuse that they are referring to in this fucking post. Like, oh my god. I just can't fucking believe, like, how far does your head have to be up your own ass to completely miss the point that badly? Pulling the progress probably given, but you feel like it would definitely help to communicate more with the public. Well, that's the thing. They started communicating less and less because every extra communication just got them another explosion of these really targeted comments. Like, they've explained before that was, part of why they started backing away. It's because every time they said something, it doesn't matter what it fucking was, there was this massive group of people that every single thing that they said was the wrong answer. It didn't matter what it was. The fact that Hussie had to be the one to step in and make an announcement is what really got me. Like, he's not even technically involved anymore. Exactly. Like, and all these people are saying that it's his fault for not, like, moderating things better. Oh god, one person even brought up the fucking Reddit. Like, he fucking tried to step in, and they did not take it well. Like, you victim blaming, exactly. Just jaded about this, but you feel like the death threats are just a constant thing for creators on the internet. Not that I'm saying they're okay. They're, like, not, though. Like, here's the thing. Like, I know that, like, receiving death threats on the internet is, like, not exactly uncommon in, like, a general sense, but to be receiving multiple threats a week just from complete fucking strangers, like, for example, part of this as well that's kind of come up in general discussions around this is, the idea of when you are in a shit situation and you feel powerless, you reach for the targets you think you can hit, which in this case would be these accessible indie creators rather than, like, fucking Jeff Bezos. You know what I mean? Like, These are people that you know, folks feel like they can directly reach. And it's fucking unacceptable. It's fucking unacceptable. It doesn't matter if it doesn't matter whether or not it's a common experience. It's unacceptable every fucking time, and it shouldn't be happening, period. Max Bird, hello, welcome. Yeah, exactly. Every single time they posted anything on Twitter, that's why they started turning their replies off on all of their like update announcements and shit as well. You know, and then you look in the quote tweets, and it's a whole bunch of people being aggressive and harassing them. Like, and of course I know that like there are legitimate criticisms of, you know, the stuff that they've been doing. That's fair, but that doesn't even fucking matter at this point, honestly, because they're getting lost in a storm of complete fucking garbage. Not surprised that, yeah, like, well, it's the thing. It's disappointing that that it's not surprising. Like Hussie said that he's used to all that stuff. I mean, yeah, like it's shitty that he even like has to be like used to being treated like garbage. But I mean, I guess his perspective on it is different because even from very early on in his kind of like internet career, he kind of fed off of being kind of antagonizing. But still, death threats should not be like, I don't care if they're commonplace. They shouldn't be, and it shouldn't be acceptable in any situation. But yeah, like full fandom management or whatever is not fucking possible. Like, oh god, this one fucking shithead that I read, they referenced specifically, they were like, I think everything went downhill when the forums closed. And like, oh my fucking god. No. Like, that's just, you cannot fully control an online space, which is what this person was saying that he should have been doing. And it's like, oh my god. Back in the day, he talks about how people would do the same when he did things like kill Vriska. But like, it shouldn't, you know, like, it doesn't matter if it's an expectation. It doesn't fucking matter. Death threats are just not acceptable, period. I think it's that they are targeted threats that can make a difference. Yeah, there's the problem. Is the rest of the people don't actually need to be desensitized to it. Hussie, maybe. We might be. But the people who don't need to be desensitized to harassment, and getting constantly harassed isn't normal for people, even if it seems like it. Yeah, like, you know, no one should have to be desensitized to it. Like, that's the thing, right? But it's like, but because the thing is, it's what he said in his, you know, in that paragraph when he was talking about it specifically, it's women, it's trans people, it's people of color, and it's their specific identities are being targeted. And I've seen that shit so many times. You know, oh my god, I saw some shit today that just fucking, like, holy crap. It was like some anon ask on Tumblr calling Aisha lesbophobic because Rosemary has marital problems and Homestuck Squared. Like, excuse me? Oh, they're prioritizing Dave Cat too much. And it's like, this lesbophobic to Rosemary or some shit like that. I'm just like, y'all, do you know what the words that come out of your mouth actually mean? The words that you type with your fingers. Do you read them before you hit send? Everything went downhill in Homestuck Fandom the second the goth sacked Rome. This is totally relevant. Yeah. How can you control a fan space in the wilds of the internet? Yeah, that's the thing. Like, we can't, you know. Hussie's a white cishet dude, so he's got a huge amount of privilege that the rest of the team doesn't. Yeah, the team are the kind of people who often get targeted by all kinds of groups, including cops, so they ain't getting help from them. Yeah, exactly, Phoenix. Like, you can't control it, but they shouldn't have to take it. That's the thing. Aisha's married to a woman. It was a whole load of bullshit. We go back in time and delete the entire website. an Instagram comment section. Oh my god, yeah. I've heard that Homestuck Instagram is home to some of the wildest fucking takes ever. Like, wilder than Twitter, apparently. I don't really engage with fandom content on Instagram. But, like, from what little I've seen, that's not surprising. They're like children who throw a tantrum whenever their parents aren't paying attention to them specifically. So sorry, didn't you know there was? Yeah, I only heard about it because a while ago that one person said fat vaginal move, and then a whole bunch of people were like mocking them for it on Twitter. And I was like, okay, that is a fucking hilarious statement, but I'm pretty sure the person who said it was a minor, so maybe we should not be turning them into a viral sensation. That is all I know about Homestuck Instagram. Oh, and the Declossy account. I follow the Declossy account. That's pretty much it. Can't even fathom a cohesive community existing on Instagram or TikTok or whatever. Yeah, I mean, like, cohesive communities form all fucking all over the place, but yeah, you forget I can even use it. Yeah, yeah, my Instagram, for me anyway, it's one of the few accounts I have that, like, actually has my, face on it, so to speak. I don't have, like, a fandom-specific account, so I don't, use it very frequently. Hey, if you still refer to Edward as John, please unfollow me. I only like Hey King June, and their entire comment section was people insulting them and yelling at them, saying they had personally harmed them by politely asking them. Like, they felt they had the right to follow this person and couldn't be asked to unfollow? That's... Yeah, that's a yikes. Anyway, I feel like we kind of hit all the points of this conversation. Fucking disappointing. Fuck every single person who's either celebrating this or blaming them for their own, like, yeah, I don't even. Social media discourse is actually a great way to start a Psycholonial stream. That is true. Social media discourse is very relevant to Psycholonials. Yeah. The most shocking part is how little this shocks you. Yeah. That's the thing. It's, you know, disappointing but not surprising. Is really, like, because how long and how many times have we complained about these kinds of fucking assholes? On Homestuck reread streams, or, you know, with, like, Pester Quest streams, or, like, etc., any of this Homestuck content, like, ages and ages. And, you know, like, I understand that there is a separate conversation to hypothetically be had about, like, whether or not you feel like you should have cut this off sooner, or other moves could have been taken earlier, but, like, not now. Not fucking now. Hello, Biangle, welcome. I hope you are having fun at plans. The big enough group of people, there's always going to be assholes. And there are people who only act like bigger assholes when it's brought up. Yeah. Mackin. Did you finish the... No. We just spent half an hour talking about Hussie's post on the Homestuck Patreon. I literally only just booted up the game. We have not read a single word of Psycholonials yet. We're about to start. But yeah. That's been, ooh, that's a fun cramp in my arm. Love that happening. That tracks, yeah. Can we talk about the loading screen song you only get to hear for a millisecond? Oh yeah, content warning. If you're a minor, please don't. This is not the stream for you if you are under 18. Good news, you put a space heater in your basement and now you're all toasty. Yay! It ends with the band Fall Out Boy singing their silly little American Psycho song, but it's Psycholonials. There's a lock sitting on the second page, presumably a dead button for now, but might do something in later updates. Yes. Yeah, so resume, yeah, menu. Chapters we get to be continued. Only one chapter available at the moment. Sound is just master volume. And credits. Written and illustrated by Hussie, music by Clark Powell. Wonderful Clark Powell. Lead engineer Adelaide Killigan, I'm pretty sure has done work on House Swap. Engineered by Andrew D. Cohey, who did some of the Flash or HTML5 stuff for Homestuck Squared, and also did technical stuff for Pester Quest. Editing by Aisha, and their evidence is, or their influence is evident. That's what I was trying to say. As we get into it. Definitely love Clark Powell. And her music is amazing. 3 songs so far that are not in the game and not in the OST. I'll have to see when they pop up on Bandcamp then. And translation. Because this game is available in like 8 languages, which is fucking sick. Yeah, Silence Mill, the company made to publish this, and language proofreading. Yu Song-shu, Raisa, Castro, and SK. Silence Mill has a website which is interesting, not much on it, but it's still interesting. Yes, the Silence Mill. Yeah, it's literally just like, I'll put a link in the description of the YouTube video, but like it's literally just the trailer for Psycholonials. That's all that's on there. There isn't even like a about page, a copyright 2021 or anything like that. And if we go to more options, music gives you a link to the Bandcamp, links, gives you a link to the website, and this locked option that was mentioned before. And here we are. Message on the Bandcamp saying that mentions songs being in the game and not in the current EP, and that they will be on future EPs. Yeah. Obvious, but glad it's confirmed. The title song is the first one not on release yet. At least one of the songs is from a previous Clark Powell album. I see. What? Oh, no problem. Yeah, I just gave it a... What I was actually looking for in the options menu was a full screen mode. And there is no full screen mode in this game, so I just made the window big. I really hope I like it. I have opinions. We'll talk about them as we go through. She took down most of her Bandcamp albums at release for some reason. Yeah, I don't know. Are y'all ready to fucking actually play the goddamn game now? Because I'm fucking ready. Let's go. Chapter 1 of 9, The Summer That Never Was. The ominous 3 seconds of Flare. Flare Green Sun remix. Okay. And here We are. How's the audio volume, by the way? Is it too quiet? I can turn it up a little bit, if that would be helpful. Audio levels are good? Okay, sweet. Because I had to... Sonic Adventure DX is a loud game, so I had to really pull down the desktop audio volumes. But, yeah, if it's good, then it's good. Land Survives, which of course a power joint. Not the east coast of the States. That's too close for comfort. Yeah. Apparently this is in Massachusetts. An island sits off the eastern coast of the United States. It's a little over 10 miles wide and, most of the year, a little over 10,000 people deep. I wish I could use the spacebar to advance text, but I cannot. Just a side note. They call it a summer colony. When the weather gets warm, the number of people pushing down on the island swells to around 50,000. The town here shares its name with the island. You live here. You're one of the residents pushing down on the place year-round. The steady residents don't contribute much weight, though. Off-season life is like a reprieve for the island, like lifting the load off the back of a perennial workhorse. Arrow keys? Oh, that's so helpful. Thank you. I know that, like, there's not much of a difference between, like, clicking the mouse and pressing the button, but it actually is a lot easier on my hands to use keyboard buttons to advance stuff instead of the mouse. Namesake from 2013. The Star I Never Caught. Canadian derogatory friendly. Yes, arrow keys. Good. The Summer Crush is a different story. 100,000 feet at once give you the impression the seasonal colonists have all conspired to shove this charming New England rock right back into the ocean. But 2020 is different. You don't see it happening this year. Can't say you're heartbroken about it either. Your name is Jen. It's pronounced more like Jen than Zen, but most people have been determined to mispronounce your name since elementary school. So at some point you decided to go by Z, and it stuck. Do you have chronic hand pain? Oh, fuck yeah, I do. I've heard about this game. She mentioned that she's visited on occasion. Some of the never was brief mix here. Not New England, I live there. Yes. Song's only partial, yeah. Same vibe and issues as Cape Cod. Interesting. Don't want to have anything to do with Hussie's clown game. Yes, I don't know. We're talking about it now? Sure, we'll talk about it now. So the character's name is Zhen, which is a Chinese name. So as much as the art style, he's continued with the quote-unquote aracial art style, Zhen, or Z, is definitely coded as Chinese American. In terms of tourist stuff, it mostly relies on tourism and is otherwise dead. But yes. Stuck it to your parents, too, sorta, who endowed you with the romanization of a name which would either guarantee a lifetime of correcting people or interminably acquiescing to their wrongness. You like Z better anyway, because it's yours, not theirs. God damn it, look at her wall. Oh, we get a full tour of the wall. I think that fact redeems the array charlatan, because Z is very specifically at least, not Y. It's roughly 3 p.m., and you have just woken up. Earlier than yesterday, so that's a plus, and with a bit of a hangover, but that's far from unusual. Your bedroom is a bit messy, but you don't notice anymore. It's a cozy little depression nest, and it serves its purpose well, which is to store the body of a depressed 23-year-old woman when she's not working, whilst the decor manages to accurately reflect her personality and emotional landscape. Hey, I was also a depressed 23-year-old out of work on April 20th, 2020. And up she goes. And a new track. Felt like a punch in the gut because you too. Yeah. Yeah, it was a time. It is a time. You're also drinking during your first playthrough of the game, which was a big yikes later. Ooh. Yeah. See, I think that's part of why I think that's like an additional factor to my not having a little bit of trouble connecting to the characters, because I don't drink. I never have. It's never interested me. I don't want to start. I don't really grasp the appeal of it. Totally. So that is like a context factor in the way that I kind of feel about the characters and feel about like trying to connect with them. But yeah, I was also a depressed 23-year-old in April 20th, 2020. Marvel Wi-Fi date is my best friend. What are the odds? X-Files theme. Snazzy getting up music. Oh yeah, I really love this track. Rev related to all the content creator depression vibes. Everyone relates to Hussie clown games. Lightly older. Yeah. Yeah, I'll talk about my infinite feelings on that a little bit later as well, when we get to that, a little deeper into that stuff. Every time I stand up, to a healthy degree. All someone struggled with it during like quarantine depression. Content creator. A lot of people are def saying it's autobiographical Hussie vibes. Yeah, that's another like really big. It's like you have to walk that fine line of like using that lens but not reading into it too much. But yeah, definitely something to continue conversation about as we move through the story. Sona. What would happen if I mixed inedible fluids with alcohol? The answer is bad. Yeah, the answer does sound bad. Cooking wine and old tequila. Oh no. Not Death Leech, I shouldn't do it. Vodka is the devil's liquid. Interesting. Yeah, glad you're alive though. Yeah, yes. Yeah, please, for the sake of your health, don't do that again. But yes, continuing through. Children who aren't here right now, don't take after me. Yes, there should not be any children here, because I asked them politely to, if any were present, to continue along their way when the big 18 plus warning popped up at the beginning of the game. Okay. Ordinarily, you'd reach for your smartphone before even getting out of bed and whittle away the first hour of the day scrolling through the timelines of your various accounts. Now that's the one that I connect to, and oof, because that's really is a horrible fucking habit to have. I did when I was finishing my degree. Yes, this would have been exactly 1 year ago that I was starting to do this stuff. One of our projects, or one of our big projects, was actually to participate in like personal experiments, basically, and pick certain, I guess, like self-care habits, and keep a daily journal, keep a daily log. We didn't have to be super detailed if we didn't want to be, and see how they affected us. But essentially, you know, because the course in counseling psychology, you know, the idea is that, you know, you try out and actually have experience doing the things that you're going to be telling people to do to take care of themselves, right? But one of the things that was on my kind of list that I built up for myself was not using my phone in bed anymore. And, you know, it actually helped, like, a lot, you know, with getting to sleep, and also with getting my day started, you know, without, like, squinting at a screen. It actually is a really good habit to have, and I hate that I've fallen back into waking up and immediately shoving this fucking light panel in my face. But yeah, no, I did that too. Almost 3 years since you've been to a bar. Yeah, I think I've probably been to a bar under the context of, like, eating there like a restaurant, but one person left, I checked. Yeah, Steve phone done great. I haven't taken care of myself in at least a week. I mean, like, I feel that it's also just those kind of habits have gone down the shitter for me, if I'm frank. Like, self-care kind of stuff could be better. Judging my lifestyle from the word go, yeah. Yeah, the sarcasm, yeah. Discovered the other day that if I put on a YouTube video, Germa 11-hour Seaman stream on my phone, I can fall asleep for almost 13 hours. Oh, Germa. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Anyway. In bed helps you sleep against all odds. I mean, like, I put on a podcast. Okay. I know I'm not the only one who does this. I know at least one other person who does this. But I actually put on, I've been working my way through the back archive of My Brother and Me, and it actually helps me sleep. It's just background noise so that my head doesn't get super clouded and, like, caught up in thinking in circles, right? But, like, it's funny. I'm not saying it's not funny. But, you know, it seems like counterintuitive, but it does help. A lot of people do, which is such a chaotic vibe to rest to. Like, that's it. It's so chaotic, and especially, like, I'm on, like, episode 191 or 92, so I'm in fucking, like, mid to late 2014, I think, in terms of chronology, and which is, like, you know, the older their stuff is, the more it's, like, the more likely there is to be, like, something mildly questionable or straight up horrible. I mean, there's also some real fucking bangers, like, most times that they talk about horses, but, and distraction. Okay, yes. End distraction. Back to the story. Ordinarily, you reach for your smartphone before even getting out of bed and whittle away the first hour of the day scrolling through the timelines of your various accounts. But for whatever reason, today feels a little different. You stand up to stretch your legs and have a look around to reacquaint yourself with the artifacts of your life which have achieved invisibility through familiarity. And here's that wonderful tour of the posters. Oh, a hydrate and a posture check. Those are both good ideas. I will have some water and sit up properly. I am seriously considering getting a new desk chair now, since I'm having to actually sit in it like way more. It's kind of fucking up my back. Okay, water has been had. Did not see that coming. Wait, did not see, what coming? My actually complying with the end distraction request. Every time someone tells you, you also check your posture. Yeah, it's just like a really great reward to have. Those pixels are so fucking crunchy. Who's that in the posters? We'll get a full tour. I promise. How we meant to open the water. Quality is even worse if we get closer. Yeah, the art style is something that I have seen a lot of people complain about as well. I mean, like, I don't really have complaints about it. Like, it could be, like, maybe a little more polished. But given the fact that this entire game has clearly been put together in, like, less than a year, I get the feeling that Hussie chose this art style. I think I talked about this last week as well. I get the feeling this particular art style was chosen because of similar reasons to why he worked the way he did with Homestuck's art style. Efficiency and, you know, just like, yeah, like efficiency of time use. Like, the art style isn't as much of a priority here as the narrative text. And I mean, for all we know, this stuff was kind of oversimplified because he wanted to put more effort and detail into art that's coming later on, right? Crunch cat. We've seen Hussie try to do this. I mean, like, because the thing, I mean, like, Hussie is fully capable of doing, like, incredibly detailed, beautiful artwork. Like, I haven't read Whistles, but if you've read Whistles, then you'll see that. Or if you look up any of the art from Whistles, or any of his, like, hand-drawn, like, paper and ink stuff is, oh god, it's gorgeous. But yeah, for a rather impromptu $10 game, it seems pretty standard. Exactly, right? Like, if you can't stand the 16 colors, stay out of Windows 3.1. Oh, you've played already, right? Could be different, but then it would be a different game. Yeah. Great. Break me off a piece of that crunch cat bar. I feel like Deltarune is the opposite of Psycholonials. Interesting. We'll have to see if that holds up when the rest of Deltarune comes out. Love it, but you wish it was slightly higher resolution for character art. Backgrounds look great, though. That's fair. But, like, the level of pixelation in the posters. Yeah, and I mean, we do get the more detailed zoom in when they go over them individually. So, and it don't stop with all the colors. Yeah, those are ones I've been meaning to look at those for ages. Since starting Homestuck, he actually got worse at drawing. I guess if he wasn't regularly practicing the pencil and paper stuff and he was focusing on the digital, then, like, you gotta practice to keep it up. This would be interesting. Volume 6 album cover, says Mr. Oh, right! He did the Volume 6 album cover. Oh, yeah, that's beautiful. Beautiful stuff. Anyway, let's take a tour. Let's take a tour of these posters. You've had this exact arrangement of posters taped to your wall since you moved here. Before that, actually, these posters were on the wall of your dorm in college, in this exact pattern. When the time came to make your desperate getaway from campus, you ripped it all off your wall in one big taped-together mass, rolled it all up, and hit the road. Then when you got here, you simply unrolled it and put it back up. Why mess with it? This particular hodgepodge of pop cultural nonsense says as much about yourself as you'd ever care to say using a wall. Maybe it's a consequence of the media you consume that made you feel this way, but you've always believed you can tell a lot about a person by studying the things they used to like. In fact, you might even go as far as saying in this era, an individual's personality isn't much more than a composite of all the media they've ever consumed, and their favorite stuff in particular. You didn't notice the car cat before now? Yeah, there is indeed car cat fucking Vantis in the middle of this wall. People were complaining the perspective looked off, so he had to go and form something and explain what foreshortening is. You're relating to her inner monologue now? Yeah, that's the thing. Like, my experience of this was that I enjoyed the narrative text much more than the conversations. And we'll get to the conversations. But yeah, like, that's like, hit the nail on the head. Oof, those are the vibes these days. Not the first time something from one of his project migrated to another. Oh yeah, he does a lot of like cross-referencing and stuff. But like a comment is both a sly reference to Homestuck's room exposition, but also is generally true. Yeah, it is. Like that comment, when I first read that, it makes me stop and think and look around my room and be like, oh god, yeah. You know, especially with like the posters in particular, the comment about the posters, my walls in my room are covered in like, there's CD fold out posters and posters purchased from conventions, little like postcard size takeaways from events, 2017 to 2019 Homestuck calendars. I cut them apart at the end of each year and put the pictures up on my wall like posters. So, you know, there's that, all of my fucking Animal Crossing amiibos and Splatoon and all the CDs and the fucking, you know, books and shit, like, yeah, which makes it like, it's been a little weird in like the Zoom era using a camera that like I have to set it up at an angle that like you can see like the shitload of posters in the background when I'm in Zoom calls. And it's simultaneously it's like, oh yes, this is me, welcome to me. But also kind of like, oh, don't look at that. You know, especially when I'm in like academic, you know, like my classes and stuff. It hasn't come up very much. Yeah, the narration is actually the better this time. I missed that. That's why you don't buy posters. Your siblings a lot of posters in their room. Leave in a guest bedroom, so you know where to decorate anyways. Because the narrator isn't self-aware. Yes, that's true. We don't have that kind of authorial self-awareness that we see in Homestuck. Exploring the posters, you're just like, God, this is just Homestuck 3. Also in a guest bedroom. Decorate, change the whole vibe. Yeah. Decorate with mentions of the person I'm not. Interesting. That's a really unique way to kind of word that. Isn't being not self-aware a bad thing? I mean, I think the way that I interpreted that, at least, is not self-aware is like not aware that they're speaking, not narratively aware that they're speaking to the audience, like not breaking the fourth wall. But yes, keep going on our tour. That's why whenever you meet someone new, you kind of wish you could just look at their bedroom and take a quick tour of all their interests, sparing you a lot of laborious banter and wondering over whether someone's worth your time. Again, it could be certain types of content you consumed in your past which resulted in this philosophy, but you can't be sure. All you can do is refresh your memory on your various interests to reaffirm who you are to yourself, along with any imaginary voyeurs who have inexplicably decided to tune into your underwhelming morning ritual. Okay, maybe it's a little self-aware. SpongeBob stickers that your parents put up for you 3 and I at one point took down. I regret that. Posters of Dead in Elementary. Shows you didn't watch, games you didn't play. Yeah. I feel it. Most of my stuff is relevant, but there's definitely some things that I, like, wish I could take down. Like, I have a fucking Scott Pilgrim poster on the walls. Like, I really don't, you know, that was a big thing when I was in high school. Scott Pilgrim was like, that was the big Scott Pilgrim boom. I'm not too fond of it anymore. I guess it has a little bit of a nostalgia point. But, you know, there's stuff that I didn't notice as an ignorant teenager that I notice now. Like the way that Knives Chow is stereotyped and stuff like that. I got fucking a Frankenweenie poster from the Frankenweenie movie by Tim Burton, and I'm fucking pissed at Tim Burton because he's fucking racist. So I kind of wish I could take that down. But both of those I put up with masking tape, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to take the paint off of the wall if I try to take them down. So I think I'm just going to leave them there. Don't buy merch. Super knob. People who fill their rooms with shit they like. Oh. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I started doing that when I was like 15, I guess. I know some folks start like super young filling their rooms with stuff like that, but I don't know. I didn't get into it until like halfway through high school. It is, yeah, back to the thing, it is a very, very nice koi homestead joke. Now that I'm Scott's age, ugh, yeah. Yeah. Now, I was talking about Nice, and that's just the fact that it's like seen as like this really lighthearted joke that Scott Pilgrim is dating a high schooler, and now that I'm actually like 23, I'm like, oh my fucking god, that's actually horrible. That is actually fucked up. What the hell? Have that one framed in your freshman year dorm. The white guy from John Cena. Yeah, it was Michael Cera, yeah. Taking Harry Potter Deathly Hallows. Oof, yeah. The art style is so super deformed, it's easy to forget that Scott's an adult. Yeah. Not helped by him being played by Michael Cera, who's trapped in puberty for his sins. God, yeah. Michael Cera just perpetually looks like a teenager, which is why he's constantly cast as a teen in movies. But yeah, I guess I should, like, probably try and take that down, especially because I'm literally running out of wall space now. The Homestuck calendar stuff takes up, like, a fuckload of wall space. I think actually aside from those two things, there's not much else that I would really deeply want to take down. I have some Pokemon stuff. I got some Steven Universe. I got some Animal Crossing, a bunch of mementos and shit. Juno! Oh my god, I haven't seen the movie in years. Yeah, Juno. Michael Cera did Juno, right? Oh my god, Elliot Page in that movie as well. You just like it because of being like that. You think it's probably a good movie. The context made it weird. Oh, they showed you that in sex ed? Dang, I did not get to see anything like that in those classes. Hetalia and Black Butler. Ah, yeah. Fortunately, you took those down. Yeah, I had, and I wish I had pictures of it. I want to see if I took any pictures of it. I don't know if I did. I wish I had. Oh my god. I used to have a corkboard up on the wall above my desk, because my computer desk right now has, like, a shelving unit behind where the monitor is, so that wall, like, the space where that corkboard was covered, but my old desk didn't have a space like that, so I had a corkboard on the wall, and I printed out from my computer so much fucking color ink. I printed out Homestuck fan art, just endless reams of Homestuck fan art, and covered my entire corkboard with it. This was before I'd gotten to the point where I was like, where I actually started going to conventions where you could, like, actually get posters and stuff. And all of the official Homestuck merch has always been so out of reach to me because it's all shipping from the States and it's converting from US dollars to Canadian dollars, and it's fucking expensive. But yeah, god, I wish I found, I thought I saved all the photos, but I found 2 of them a while ago. I think I put pictures in the Discord. May have to lower the price of ending distractions. Yeah, I mean, I gotta self-regulate as well. I do need to self-regulate because I'm seeing it's like 12-13 and we've gotten barely brushed the surface of what is in this game, which it is like, it's a little shorter than the average Hive Swap Friend Sim volume. So that's good. It's not super duper duper long, but still. And distraction. Yes. Make me say something? I absolutely refuse to end this distraction. Except that's not true. I am going to end the distraction. Time isn't real as long as I'm awake. Yeah, we are basically 5 pages in. You could use end distraction more often. Yeah, I'll try and self-regulate. And if I am not doing that well enough, community effort to make me shut up and read the comic. Or, like, visual novel. It is really, like, basically a webcomic, though. Like, there are 0 interactive choices in this entire volume. Maybe there will be more in later volumes or something like that, but there's 0 interactive choices in this. Attempting to save your points. 2.5 on it in your stream. Yeah. Poster Bruce was a distraction. Okay, I'm actually getting back to the fucking comic now. Okay. Again, it could be certain types of content you consumed in your past which resulted in this philosophy, but you can't be sure. All you can do is refresh your memory on your various interests to reaffirm who you are to yourself, along with any imaginary voyeurs who have inexplicably decided to tune into your underwhelming morning ritual. And now the tour begins. High quality MSPFA. Yeah, that kind of works. What happens when you hit the end stream button? Oh, like, the stream ends. Like, I stop. That's what happens. I just fucking stop. The stream is done for the day. It ends. No matter where we are in whatever the fuck we're doing, it ends. Although, that does remind me, if people are actually starting to gun for that and get close to achieving it, I need to remember to turn that reward off when I'm filming for YouTube. Which I am at the moment. Wayne Radio TV once ended a stream by unplugging his router. Fucking legend. Wayne Radio TV is like gold. He does the weirdest shit. Anyway, here's Snake. That's your Metal Gear Solid poster. You have created a number of fanworks for this series, and not a single one of them is suitable for children. Very few are suitable for most adults, actually, but never mind that. You think Kojima has an advanced understanding of war, which has eluded authors far more celebrated than he. You also think Kojima has an advanced understanding of horny gay men with enormous butts, which is an asset far greater in literary value in your opinion. What happens when people spend points to get extra affiliate cash? No. Channel points are complete nonsense money. They have absolutely no analog to real dollars. Most definitely Aisha's influence on Hussie. Oh yes. Do this when things are dripping. Moon-based alpha voice. Snake. Yes. Yeah, this is definitely Aisha's influence on Hussie. Because Aisha, if any of you have been following Aisha's Twitter, has been Aisha got really into Metal Gear Solid over quarantine. And that's been an interesting saga to follow as someone who only has barely a passing knowledge. You can theoretically pay for a higher tier sub to increase your rate of getting points. Oh right, I forgot about that. You're saving the uwus for a good part? Oh god. True, there are certainly some very ideal parts, but I will uwus. Max, we are not getting that far off topic. We're talking about Metal Gear. Gonna pass out now. Okie dokie, love you too. Talk to you later, Noah. Good night. Good night, good night. Have a good sleep. Okay. Next. The nostalgia of just the fucking insane clown posse being present in a work from Andrew Hussie. It was a test. Okay. We are all weapons to surpass Metal Gear. That is the message of Death Stranding. Oh god, Death Stranding. What a weird fucking game. Insane Clown Posse, of course. You're way out of this by now, but you had a juggalo phase in high school. The reason for this decision was extraordinarily complex and layered. Far over the head of anyone who would ever be inclined to wonder. If you need to even ask why, being down with a clown cannot be fully explained. You mainly keep this up as a reminder of your roots. Oh, fuck, the uwus. Oh, the fucking uwus. Okay, I'll do that one again. Insane Clown Posse, of course. You're way out of this by now, but you had a juggalo phase in high school. The reason for this decision was extraordinarily complex and layered, far over the head of anyone who would ever be inclined to wonder. If you even need to ask why, being down with the clown cannot fully be explained. You mainly keep this up as a reminder of your roots. A reminder of a philosophy toward family which you prefer to more conventional definitions. Meant to save it for Carcat, but this is also good. Congrats, you're now fluent. Yeah, I became fluent in uwus a while ago. It's a fun talent that I now possess. I mean, if you want me to save the rest for Carcat, I can do that as well. Okay, this fucker. You've had this up since 2017, which is before Post went apeshit with all the face tattoos. Increasingly these days, he seems determined to look like hot garbage. And yet the uglier he gets, the more fond of him you grow. You will never forsake this kind-hearted goblin prince. He could tattoo a dick on his face, and you'd probably weep tears of joy. So I don't know shit about Post Malone. Except that I think a couple years ago, there was some shit going around about him being, I don't know, I feel like racist was probably the right answer. There was some problematic shit, but it only landed on my dashboard because it was a big thing at the time. I haven't kept up with him. I don't know what his deal is. I know he's a rap artist. don't know. I've never even heard any of his music. Post Malone is the Nick Cage of Psycholonials. Ugh. He did the Spider-Man, it just seems to be existing now. Sunflower. Is that a semi-mainstream artist who used to be emo and did an MCR cover while being in a totally different genre? Is Kindman overall, from what I hear. Sunflower's a banger song. Did something with Pokemon now? Oh yeah, the Pokemon concert. That's virtual Pokemon concert. That's coming up. Oh, Sunflower and Spider-Verse. Oh, okay. So maybe I'm just remembering some bullshit discourse that was actually about a completely different artist. I have no fucking idea. I don't listen to new music, and I should, but I don't. Anyway, this is the one you were all waiting for. It's what you said when you checked out the ICP posto. You like to keep reminders of your pop cultural roots. There was a long story you read when you were young. You almost never talk about it now. But this guy is here to remind you. Whether you like it or not, it's a part of you now. And this is one of those times where we're thinking of this as very Hussie influence. Kind of makes you think, is this kind of how he feels about Homestuck now? Pretty sure this is Post Malone. That part really got to you? This guy, this dude, it's almost definitely how he feels. Yeah. Whether you like it or not, it's a part of you now. Yeah, I bet a lot of Homestuck fans, a lot of prior Homestuck fans around my age probably feel this way. I never left. I never left. I got on this train at 14 years old and I never fucking got off. So I don't have quite so, I have, my feelings about Homestuck are not this ambivalent, but yeah, of all the posters taped together implies Carcat was taped across a blank space. Horrendous. Yeah, they're so fucking right. I thought of that too. It's like, wait a second, Carcat's not fucking attached to anything. By not getting on the train until you were pushing 30. Yeah. And that is your Ulu redemption. Okay. It's 12:25. I think I'm gonna actually take 5 here. I think that's a good idea. As a teen, how scandalous is mature for early 30 with plus adults. God. Yeah, I know. That fucking tweet. I know. Anyhow. Yeah. Gonna take 5. Rest my voice. Maybe get my brain a little bit more coherent. This, I'm getting the feeling, is going to be a long fucking stream. Now if I go in here. Yeah, there we go. Back in 5. Back in 5. Pass into slumber. Good idea, good idea. Have a good sleep, Phoenix. Good sleep and good night. And Psycholonials will be back in 5 minutes. Hello. We are back on time. And I'm even gonna remember to turn the music back on now. Warning for the stream duration. Yeah, this is gonna be a while. Intense music playing over Siege just standing in the room. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We finished volume 5-6, so I started volume 7-8, which starts with like Black Rose, Green Sun, and like at the price of Oblivion, and like these really intense songs from Cascade. So happy to see a non-binary. Yeah. Z is she, they. Hey, we shall get there. Anyway, let's continue the rest of things. The calendar marks the days for your shifts at a local restaurant where you work as a waitress. The page is set to February 2020, but this is wrong. The pandemic sent you into an unusually bleak depression spiral, so you haven't flipped the page in months. Yeah, I feel that. I had a 2020 wall calendar. I at least flipped it. I at least flipped the calendar page. But, by the end of the year, I was routinely forgetting. Oh, and the job thing too. I was working in retail at the beginning of this pandemic. I am no longer working in retail. I guess, okay, yeah, I guess the fact that it is currently February could also be a part of the joke, but like, not having the depression of quarantine having not changed the calendar page in months. Feeling it. This is right. The date is April 20th, 2020. You guess you labeled a lot of these months in advance at the beginning of the year when you were in higher spirits. A week ago was a day relevant to your childhood interests, so you facetiously drew a little doodle to commemorate. And today, of course, is Weed Day. Not that you actually smoke weed. Yeah, 2020's content warning. Oh, you were a server at the start of the pandemic, and oh boy. Yeah, the comment about it being Weed Day, not that you actually smoke weed. Mostly on account of being too lazy to bother acquiring any, but that doesn't mean the annual milestone shouldn't be solemnly honored with the gravity of a religious holiday. That's such a mood. I mean, like, for me personally, it's not a laziness to acquire it. It's just, yeah, similar to alcohol. It's like, I don't know. It sounds like it could be nice, but nah. But also, like, I feel like it's not uncommon to be like, I make a lot of weed jokes for somebody who doesn't fucking smoke weed. The only reason you never partake in is the smell. Oh, it is potent. Yeah, for sure. It's a very potent smell. I personally, really the main reason is that I already struggle with memory issues. So, I don't want to mess around with the long-term memory effects of marijuana use, basically. Like, things are already kind of fucky up here. So, I'm just gonna, like, politely decline. Ooh, the partner smoking in the house. That sucks. You partake for the meme, but otherwise it makes you sick. Oh no! Oh, not in the house. On the porch. Okay, that's... okay. Yeah. Not an animal. But, As you stare at the calendar, you mostly just can't believe it's almost May already. Has it really been that long since you went to work? You guess that must be right. Early March was the last day the restaurant was open, and you've been holed up here ever since, without pay. You've gotten by borrowing rent money from your friend Abby, who has also been shut in since the outbreak began. Not seeing her in months, or not seeing anyone really, has had a very negative effect on your mental health. Probably the biggest reason you've been waking up so late these days. Once again. Nail on the head. Oof. Yeah. Suppose Driss goes away because he's not in development mode anymore, but not trying to be that weak person. I mean, I guess I can see that it could maybe be less, but like your brain is always growing and changing. You know what I mean? Something of note, the last Homesick hardcover book was released March 2020. Yes, that is something, that is a hard fact that has been in my head from the beginning, because, again, as prior mentioned, I know I've said this a million times, going out to pick up that book, walking to Chapters, from, you know, going to Chapters to pick up that book was one of the very last outings I had before lockdown started in Ontario. Going to Chapters, picking a book up off the shelf and buying my copy. Yeah. Almost definitely been starting April 2020. Oh, for sure. Sibling works a desk job, so this is never something they were allowed to let get to them. Glimmer of Hope, the book 7B, have you known that Psycholonials is releasing? Maybe? Yeah. I've tried to stay optimistic about the books as long as possible, but I've really lost faith in the books ever being finished. But I mean, you know, still fingers crossed eventually, right? Yeah, I mean, like, I've mentioned work in the abstract before, but, like, I didn't have that work until September. Timing suggested the reasoning the book stopped was because he was writing this. Maybe? I mean, that's a possibility, but, like, I feel like the stuff with Viz would be, like, a contract to release a book every so often. I mean, like, at the end of book 6, he says or somewhere near the end of book 6, he makes a comment about, you know, having trouble keeping up with getting these commentary stuff finished every 4 months. So I'd imagine the Viz Media contract would be getting a book out every 4 months, because that's generally how those kinds of things work. So, you know, it could be that the contract was up and Viz Media decided not to renew it. I feel like that's a distinct possibility at this point. There's a ton of computer equipment here lying dormant. It hasn't been powered up in years, actually. Doing so would probably remind you of your college traumas. Sometimes you wonder if you will ever turn it on again. That's probably for the best. Your hacking days are behind you. A lot of those old projects you were working on could have gotten you into some serious trouble. These days, it's all about cultivating your brand, although it hasn't been going that well. More to the point, you'd probably be the first to admit your online brand is fairly shitty. But one has to start somewhere. Rebuilding a social media presence after a series of psychologically devastating catastrophes doesn't happen overnight. On the floor is a printout of your manifesto. You wrote this a few years ago before your life melted down. It began as an ironic exercise, but the more you wrote, the less ironic it became. Hussie did comp-sci, another point to the autobiographical pile. Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. Yeah. Brand. All caps. Nope. Original character, do not steal. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it began as an ironic exercise, but the more you wrote, the less ironic it became. That is like, literally anything started for ironic purposes never stays for ironic purposes. It always makes the transition to sincerity, whether it's using a stupid meme word in your everyday vocabulary or writing a whole fucking manifesto. It's a trap. You start something ironically, it will become unironic no matter how hard you try not to. You completed it just before the series of calamitous events leading to the aforementioned meltdown. You doubt this is a total coincidence, since as Abby likes to point out, only crazy people write manifestos, which is more than a little hypocritical, since she's been actively writing one herself. Odd statement. Yes, the Jubilite Manifesto. Your theory is that the Jubilite Manifesto is literally just MSPA. Don't know how well that will pan out, though. Well, only 5 days till the update. 'Tis true. Gonna head off soon, because you got a friend's place. Well, good night. And I'll see you around. Still, hers is pretty light reading and revolves around her secret real person fic shipping theories. Jesus fucking Christ. Watch back later. Well, thank you. Appreciate the support. Good night. Whereas the Jubilite Manifesto is an incendiary piece of left-wing literature that happens to revolve around unrepentant clownery. She's probably right to say that it's for the best you never pick this thing up again. Yeah, I don't really bite that it's just MSPA, because MSPA is a thing that exists as separate already in this known universe, i.e. the Homestuck, like the car cat on the wall. But what this reminds me of is some of the kind of philosophical waxings from Discord messages I have received from Andrew Hussie that we streamed a while ago, and it kind of became publicly uploaded. But yeah, what should I find that? I don't know. You know what? No, I'm not gonna find it right now. I'm just gonna say, that stream is up on my YouTube. Our streaming and discussion of Discord messages I have received from Andrew Hussie is on the YouTube channel chamomileGothic. Plug. But yeah, like, he talked a bit about clownery and philosophical and political stuff in that Discord messages stuff as well. MSP in the sense that that's what it represents for Z. Like, okay, yeah. Right, I get you now. Hussie references Psycholonials specifically in that work, saying the comment about Homesick was 1% of his creative capacity. His next work was about 5%, which is scary. Right. The Curious Cat, the Team Curious Cat answer, where he said that. Let me just make note of to find these. I'll put the links to these in the description of the YouTube video. I'll find them later. Discord messages and typos, whatever. Okay. Your stroll down special interest lane has delayed the inevitable long enough. Time to get pulled into the vortex of your traditional wake-up scrolling binge. The timelines, the threads, the feeds, the comments. They won't brainlessly ogle themselves. Was the Curious Cat not the thing? Yeah, you're good. But yes, it was answer posted to the Curious Cat. You pause to admire your lock screen. It's a more recent pic of your boy, Post, complete with all of his most recent, utterly grotesque tattoos. The man is looking like fresh hell. Your heart palpitates and you feel momentarily nauseous, but you regain your composure long enough to unlock your phone. Your phone unlocks. There's your background. It's a gratuitously pornographic piece of fan art depicting two muscular homosexual soldiers caught in the throes of their passion. This is Metal Gear, right? Like, that's Snake and somebody else. You keep this one as your unlock screen so that prying eyes in public don't get a gander of material which some may find inappropriate. Yeah, do you believe love can boom on a battlefield? Where is that line from? But as your wise-ass friend has pointed out, the Malone lock screen is arguably more indecent to flash in public. Oh, it's actually from Metal Gear? Oh. But enough dithering over your gallery of obscene mails. Time to check your accounts. Yeah, that's true. TikTok is squarely over the crotch. Instagram, Z69 Clown Boner 420. Z, she, they, woo! Bad Postmaker, Nantucket, Massachusetts. 105 posts, 996 followers, and 65 following. Most of your effort in attempting to build a brand has gone into your Instagram account. As a new influencer trying to get your footing, you've been tinkering with something in the e-girl genre. So far you aren't doing anything too wild. Your Dadaist impulses are what your TikTok is for. The Insta is real? Oh yes, that is. It is an actual account, and it's followed by Declussy, and that's how you know that it's the real deal. Once again, link in the YouTube description. I won't bother finding it right now. I will just make a note to find it later. Here it's mostly a bunch of tame, silly shots of you posing around the island. The boys love it when you go to the beach for some reason. Was I gonna say something else about this? No. But yeah, toying around with the e-girl genre, Hussie toying in the e-boy genre, like, some of this stuff is a little too on the nose. You described a lot of stuff as data theme, use the term as validating. They're very basic. Your light following mostly attracts a bunch of simps, reply guys, and rude remarks to the comment section. Eric B0452 says, "You're ugly." Swag Doggo 99, we stan a queen. E-boy Steve, bunch of fire emojis. That Gerald, nobody. Z69 Clown Border 420, serving looks like a goddess. And then a user named fucking Pickle Rick Fart says total shit. And yes, her profile pic does have clown eyes. The cross clown eyes. 81 following, 617 followers on TikTok. There's no sugarcoating it. Your TikTok is just plain weird. Full of avant-garde shitposts of a humorous nature, usually performed in a completely deadpan manner and with oblique intent to the average user of this platform. Sometimes you will knowingly post cringe. Always ironically though, which as far as you're concerned is dynamite content. Not many people understand it, though a handful of your loyal simps in your follower list always seem to lap it up. Abby never misses an opportunity to reprimand you for cringe posting. This is to be expected, though. She's a pro, after all, and even you know your cringe posts are indefensible. That is entirely the point. Twitter, 0 following, 804 followers. 3 tweets, balls, piss, cum. All from May 7th, 2018. So nothing posted here in ages, or many things deleted. That is considered cringe now? I never considered that. I guess that might be the implication? I don't think so. I don't think that's a direct one-for-one here. Twitter is bad. You hardly use this account, but you keep it on hand for the sake of continuing to receive abuse? You're not sure. The doxings and the harassment have finally died down over the last year, nothing close to what they were just after your meltdown. The persecution from your past crimes is barely at a trickle now, which is a double-edged sword. Sure, it's nice to get fewer death threats, but it's also a sign that no one really cares enough to bother, which is bad for the brand. Jesus fucking Christ. It's been a few days since you posted any content. The fans are getting restless. Well, not really, but they are restless in your anxious imagination. You are just shy of 1,000 followers. Maybe a new post will push it over the edge? Of course, you understand the crowd isn't that eager for more content. You know it's a common affliction among aspiring influencers, the need to keep pushing content out of fear their followers will get bored. And if there's as if they're a slobbering pack of wild dogs, insatiable beasts who must have more. But you're not an idiot, and you follow plenty of accounts too. And you know you could barely give a shit if even your favorite accounts stop posting for a while. They can chill if they want, it simply would not affect your life. Your posting habits are more a matter of personal ethos. If you want to build a brand, the content must flow, and so you shall make it flow. But what to post? This is always the burning question. Dana was the original Quinch's art form, and just sort of stumbled into being considered high art, by which I mean academically praised and not you have to get high to understand it. Yeah. It's easy to mistake that as I'm for idiocy and vice versa. Intention would be the distinction. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that pressure to like content. That is why I have never wanted to be like a professional YouTuber, a professional streamer, or I guess influencer, as they're putting it here. This is a very fun hobby for me. I don't want it to be my full-time job. Because I enjoy doing this and I love putting a lot of effort into putting good stuff out there. But the idea of actually working within the algorithm and like gaming the algorithm and all that sort of stuff just makes my skin crawl. Which is why there have been times where I've just, like I post videos when they're ready, which sometimes means that I post videos at 5 a.m. when nobody is fucking awake. But you know what? If that's when I do it, then that's when I do it. But yeah. Yeah, building a brand, making the content flow. Ugh. You fire up TikTok because that's where the shit posts go. And God knows you don't have the energy for assembling a respectable e-girl fit or fixing up your makeup. You try to think of more funny deadpan nonsense you can bullshit your way through while lying in bed. But yeah. God, all the stuff about like having to put the energy into like makeup and all that, like looking nice and crap. Big part of why, like, well, it's one of the number of reasons why I've never used a face cam and I never will. Like, to be honest, I'm wearing my pajamas right now. I'm comfy. I'm having a good time with it. I'm very glad that I don't use a camera for this stuff. I feel much more comfortable that way. The original shitpost was an upside down urinal. It's put over, yes, the overturned urinal. And, you know, he's inevitably made the follow-up. Yes. I wish I remembered more from my art history classes, because we learned about all that stuff, but, like, it just super didn't stick because the way that universities teach is so averse to the way that I actually enjoy learning things. Gotten into pajamas like once or twice a month since March, and you've never felt more free. Yeah, I feel like I get dressed when I have Zoom calls to go to, which now is 3 times a week because of my classes. But prior to that, yeah, I would spend 24 hours in a pair of pajamas and then put on a new pair of pajamas before going to bed with the hopes that maybe I would get dressed tomorrow, but it never actually happened. Oh, what an image. I feel that though. Sometimes I just like, I get up, I look at myself before I have to turn on the camera for a Zoom call, and I'm just like, today ain't it, but fuck it. Well, not before fixing yourself up a little. Christ, you look like hell. You fixed your hair a bit. No, still bad. Ugh. You know what? Fuck it. You're just gonna use an absurd filter and crank the irony dial all the way up. Looking more and more like it's gonna be a cringe post Monday. Holy shit. You start babbling incoherently. You even turn a voice filter on to maximize the cringe factor. What are you even saying? You have no idea where this is going. You play it back and yikes. It's hard to even get through the whole thing. It's dealing massive amounts of psychic damage. Perfect, actually. This is what you were going for. Let the simps grit their teeth through every second of this monstrosity and thank you for it. Truth be told, this is the caliber of content they deserve. Butt McFuckles, you just posted cringe. Sir Soy 4684, she don't miss. Yawn Machine, cringe baby. E-Boy Steve, and that Gerald from the previous posts. You just dropped a whole stack of these and a bunch of crowns and a true angel praying hands. Inevitable follow-up with someone pissed in the urinal. Yes. Femme au oni? Oh, is that like the name of the filter? Yep, the reply guys are lining up to kiss your ass as always. The usual suspects every time. A little entourage of loyal and lascivious hype men. It's sort of adorable and disgusting to you simultaneously. Psychic damage. Actually, maybe more disgusting than usual today. That feeling is creeping in. Disgust, not with the boys per se, it runs deeper than that. Your post fucking sucked, and you're on the verge of regretting it. Why is it always like this, pushing out content? After hitting submit, equal odds that sense of loathing begins to settle in. Ao Oni is an old cursed RPG Maker horror game, and the main villain looked like that but blue. Oh my god, this is... Yeah, I'm remembering that fucking face now. Oh my god, I've never played that game, I've only seen it online. Absolutely disgusting. Yes. Yeah, god, it's been a while. Was the post a good idea? Could it have been better? Should you just not bothered at all? It makes you feel crazy, this media landscape. Above all, you think your disgust isn't so much about the specific post as it is with the general lack of direction and inspiration. What the fuck are you even trying to do? What are you about? You're too depressed to come up with answers today, but then that seems to be true every day. You log off TikTok with dismay. This whole speech, within the context of this being very Hussie-esque, is like, ugh. I hope he is okay. You're getting a DM on Discord. It's always your friend. It's your friend Abby. Not surprising, since she almost always hits you up after you post some content, usually with some friendly critique. Today is probably no different, and you have a feeling you already know what she's going to say. Enter Abby. Oh my god, I can't believe we only just got to the first conversation. It's 1 in the fucking morning. God, this is gonna be a long stream. Sorry, I'm just having some water. MSPSL face on the super pixelated body. Yeah, the juxtaposition of like adding much more detailed pixel work to far less detailed pixelated forms is interesting. It's unique. Let's put it that way. Ooh, woos. Of course. Okay. Enter Abby. Let's fucking go. Isn't it a bit early in the day to be sad posting Quinge? You usually have the courtesy to wait till I'm sound asleep and you're drunk off your ass. Fuck off, I know it's Quinge. So this is what it's come to. Your brand as an ironic Quinge poster is congealing before my eyes. I guess. It's hard to come up with, like, ideas for shit. Ain't that the truth? What are you talking about? All you do is post videos of you working hard and saying dumb shit. Yeah. That's a hell of a brand if you can make it work, which you obviously can. At least you know what you're about. I'm still trying to figure that out. It hasn't been going well lately. That's easy. You are also about working hard. And posting Quinge, apparently. Well, not fucking hot enough. Not like you. Nonsense. The sizzling wit bitch plastered all across my timeline begs to differ. And the gentleman cobblers you have attracted to your content. They seem none too displeased. Christ. Whoa, and what's this? See? You crossed the 1,000 follower mark. It's a visual novel, but if it was anime, do you feel like Z would move like the karateka and Prince of Persia character that the art style looks like? Yeah, gentleman callers, that's one way to put it, yeah. See, you're being so down on yourself for nothing. You're well on your way to the big leagues. Ugh, the fuck is this patronizing shit? Besides, how am I even on your timeline? You don't even fucking follow me. You're too embarrassed, remember? Because it would hurt your brand if people could check your follow. Holy shit. Because it would hurt your brand if people could check your follower list and see my freak ass there with all of my past baggage. Aw, that's not fair. You know the game, Z. How many of your fucking 3 million followers would you really lose if you followed me? I do follow you with an alt. You know this. I mean your main, Abby. What would it cost you realistically if I just showed up on that list? No fanfare, no shoutouts or any bullshit like that. Just one friend following another because she's got her back. You'd lose what? A few grand maybe? Even then, it'd just be a handful of snowing cunts who don't need stinking up the joint anyway. Woo! Scathing words, and what's this YouTube link? This is... Oh, karateka dancing. Excellent video. Gonna pop that link. Okay. Go listen while you shower before it gets to pre-purchase for the Percy convo. Oh god. The Percy conversation is like physically fucking painful to endure, and I'm gonna try and get through it as fast as possible, quite honestly. Yeah, in terms of the ubus for this one, I feel like there's been a lot of ubuing. I feel like that's good for this one. And I'm gonna return to reading normally. Oh, pardon me. Oh, goodness. I'm okay. We're good. I'm good. Pardon me. We're good. It's not even about that. It's about keeping the discourse down. Come on. I mean, not to sound like a bitch, but I couldn't handle the shit you went through. You know damn well both of us got the same kind of dirt on us, but like, but what? But you already fucked yourself up, and I'm still keeping a lid on it all, like, delicately. And if you thought it was rough for you, think about what it would be like for me at my level of visibility. Oh, I see how it fucking is. You're too famous, so you'd fall harder than I did. It's fine, I got thrown to the wolves because I'm a nobody, right? No, I mean, like, I had to go to the fucking hospital, Abby. Okay, fuck, I'll follow you, Jesus. I was just messing with you. Why do you have to turn it into such a serious thing? I don't know. It's fine, actually. Don't follow me. I know exactly why you don't. I'm just being shitty because I'm in a bad mood. You're right, of course. If it triggered discourse, I'd be the one to take most of the heat anyway. I just need to keep piecing my brain together the old-fashioned way. Old-fashioned? Like horse and carriage shit? In Prince of Persia were some of the first computer games to make extensive use of rotoscope for character animation. Got lots of acclaim for how smooth and natural the characters look. Interesting. Thank you, Beef. I will stretch. But yes, if you would like to pre-purchase Ubus, I will keep that in mind. Pre-purchased for Percy. You may do that. Big stretch. Okay. Yes, Abby, that's exactly what I mean. Like how people used to cultivate their social media platforms when everybody owned horses. What? Horses? What? I was fucking joking. I mean, just figure out what I'm trying to do or say. Just figure out what I'm trying to do or say here, and let people who are into that come to me naturally. The type of people who wouldn't give a fuck about what my past is like. Ugh, I know you were joking. Can we please just let it go unsaid for once that we always both know when we're joking? We always joking. We get the shit. We are not basic bitches. Oh yeah. Ubu's redeemed. Off to the shower. Enjoy. Yeah, I know you know. My dry response to you was also a joke, idiot. Also, can you cool it on the key smashing? I'm still fucking hungover, and it's the texting equivalent of listening to noisy traffic. Big car cat Solix vibes? God, you're so fucking right. Chaotic juxtaposition Dharma. What? Auto-corrected key smash exclamation, to take the edge off for my poor and feeble friend. Oh. I do that sometimes. It's one of my good goofs, as you know. Whenever you do that, it's only funny to you. It's just confusing to everyone else. Nope, it's objectively hilarious to all involved. Has anyone ever not been confused when you do it? Lol, as if I even ever talk to anyone much but you. At least maybe we can agree the notion of chaotic juxtaposition Dharma sounds pretty cool, whatever that even means. Oh, fuck yeah. It's why I thought you might be bringing up a worthwhile topic rather than continuing to destroy my morning with your useless brain garbage. LMAO, morning. It's almost fucking 4, bitch. Good point, I gotta get going. Okay, any sign you're going back to work yet? Nah, thinking that job is toast for good. Shit, why? For a while, I was hearing stuff from the owner about reopening the restaurant and getting ready for the summer, but I haven't heard from her in weeks. I think she might have given up on the whole idea that there will even be a tourist season and just left the fucking island. Or maybe she just got the Rona and died. Fuck. Yeah, that's like a really rough position to be in. I've heard stories of people who do freelance work who just are like randomly ghosted by coworkers, and they can only assume that they like may have died from COVID because they just fucking disappeared off the map. Like, it's terrifying. It's fine, I don't really care. Okay, but what about rent? You need me to send more money, or? No, I'm alright. I think I just won't pay rent this time. I don't even give a fuck anymore. What's this idiot gonna do, evict me? Good luck with that, bro. Incredible attitude, I love you. Okay, I'm gonna eat some shit right now because I feel bad. And into the kitchen. You head to the kitchen, which isn't in much better shape than your bedroom. You pause to consider the only reason it isn't quite as disastrous is because you spend so little time here. You make occasional trips to peruse your scant supply of food or your copious supply of alcohol. Then, more often than not, it's right back to bed. This fridge is a total wasteland. It's hard to get out for grocery shopping. Sheltering in place has warped your lifestyle beyond recognition. Oh, mood. Sheltering in place has also warped my lifestyle beyond recognition. Actually, not entirely. Because I still just perpetually, without a schedule, will stay up far later and flip my schedule around any time that I have unstructured time, not just quarantine. But, yeah. Yeah, no, everything is upside down. Much easier to order shit, but money has been running low, and hitting up Abby for cash gets old. There's a pot of Kraft macaroni you think you made, 5 days ago? It looks like absolute shit, but it will have to do. You heat it up on the stove for a couple minutes, and then bring it to the kitchen table for consumption directly out of the pot. Artifacted macaroni. You make a mental note that this depression meal life hack could make for some decent ironic TikTok content. No, needs some work. First, you'd have to heat up the week-old macaroni. Then, to save time, you transport the pot outside and put the entire thing directly in the garbage can. Then, to save even more time, you curl up in a nearby bush and patiently wait to pass away. Yeah, that sounds better. Not today, though, because you already shot your TikTok shot. On second thought, that idea barely even counts as a joke. Realistically, this meal belongs nowhere except a dumpster. The macaroni is practically inedible. You force a few more mouthfuls just for the sake of preventing some of your internal organs from shutting down due to malnutrition and put it aside. 5 days is actually not horrible for macaroni, though. 5-day-old mac and cheese microwaved is actually not bad. That has never once gotten me sick. Then again, how many times has this been reheated before? That's probably a factor. Also, yeah, no, that's kind of but yeah, what has happened to this macaroni that made it so atrocious by the 5-day mark? What next? Might as well get an early start. This bottle of whiskey is already open anyway. That's because it's the same bottle you opened yesterday. Now that breakfast is over, it's time for phase 2 of the day to kick into gear. Keeping yourself alive is hard work. Making such a healthy breakfast every morning is really taxing, and it takes a lot out of you. A couple spoons, as the emotionally brittle millennials like to call them. Right down the drain, just like that. I can't tell if... I mean, I'm sure that emotionally brittle millennials is kind of a sarcastic jab. But I would like to clarify, spoons and spoon theory are not just a millennial thing. That is very specifically a chronic illness terminology. And that is where it arose from, that is where it is used, that is what it refers to. Spoons as representational of energy is very specifically a chronic illness thing. Not just like hip millennial thing. Like, it was invented to explain, you know, theories of energy as it is affected by chronic illness. So I'm not harping on Z using it, because Z is clearly dealing with mental illness. But yeah, just for clarification, not just funny millennial thing. It does have a deeper purpose than that. When you're low on spoons, the only thing for it is to recharge with another session of mindless scrolling on your phone. Do you enjoy it? Hell no. But spoons don't grow on trees, and the invisible spoonometer, which probably floats over your head, seems to respond favorably to the practice. Scrolling through social media does like the opposite of adding spoons for me. It's like fucking exhausting, frankly. Are they young millennial or older Gen Z? Fun question. Depends on who you ask. As someone who is exactly their age, it really depends on who you ask. Some people say the millennial generation ended in 1994. Others say it ended in 2000. Anyone born between those years, such as Z, who, depending on when their birthday is, was born in either 1997 or 1996. It's a fucking fun little mystery. It's just a fun little mystery. And especially, you know, that millennial and Gen Z and like battles between them and all of this stuff has become more and more prominent, like common discourse, I guess. It's a weird space to navigate as a person who was born in the odd space in between that no one seems to know what to do with. I was generally, I'd say I identify more with being a millennial because I'm a young adult in post-secondary looking to enter the workforce. But, yeah, I don't know. Just a construct made by the media, I guess. I mean, like, that's really the crux of the matter, is that, like, the generational distinctions are only really good for so much. And at the end of the day, you know, it's kind of an arbitrary label, especially when you're floating in the weird in-between space, as I am, as many of us around my age are. But yeah, it's a weird consideration. Scrolling. Some drama brewing over here, some discourse ramping up over there. Ugh, fuck these people. Absolutely fuck every single one of them and all of the infantile shit they argue over. Ugh, Trump did what now? Who fucking cares? Democracy is over. Moving on. Wait, what's this? Another senile rapist is challenging him for the presidency? Be still, you're reading art. Glug glug. Your attention turns to the comments on your posts the comments your posts have been racking up. Even on old posts, there's always a few new replies to check out for a laugh. Candace Schmandis. With, more posts and a larger following. LMAO. Do any of you disgusting sycophants even know who this bitch is? Do you know what she did? I'm going to assume that if you're willing to follow this cunt, it's only on account of ignorance. But if you continue to follow her after you see all the receipts, then I can only assume you're... Who's this bitch talking shit in your mentions? Oh no. A chill runs down your spine. This was one of the nightmare people who helped cancel you a few years ago. You thought she got bored of you, but it looks like she's at it again. She's working hard to dredge up your problematic past and make sure anyone who didn't realize you did that stuff stays well informed. What a service she's doing for the public. You simply block the vile harpy and continue scrolling. People like her tend to be hit-and-run trolls. Sure, it's still somewhat triggering to see them rear their heads now and then, but it's pretty rare these days. The followers with the real staying power, of course, are the reply guys, the merry little band of lonely boys who flutter near your flame. A modest simp farm, as you've come to regard it. God bless them. That's the American dream, right? To own a nice little farm. You can herd anything on your quaint plot of land. A humble patch of dirt for the founding fathers died to bequeath to you. They died for your right to harvest simps. Maybe they weren't half bad. Well, no, they were. You're just an enterprising woman making the best of a series of ill-intended imperialist blunders which took place several centuries ago. You guess that's all anyone's doing, really? These boys, though, they aren't genocidal frauds who stain the history books of your public education. They're mostly just a bunch of harmless, randy fools. You're almost fond of them against your better judgment. You wonder how many members of this little flock happen to live here on the island. Probably nobody, since you have so few followers. You guess some of Abby's followers might live here, though. Actually, it's more than likely. Since Abby lives here too, she's probably got a few simps who are thrilled to be living on the same small island with such a sexy and popular influencer. Could the same basic principle apply to you on a smaller scale? Someone following you just because he happened to notice you're local? Not out of the question. You linger on the idea. The 1,000 people who follow you, they like you, right? Ostensibly, this is why people follow each other. The hate which has chased you around has obscured this truth, but it seems likely this is how normal people operate. That's kind of incredible for you to dwell on, that these people actually like you. Feels like a miracle that anyone would. You do low-key love the idea of the new American pastoral being the cultivation of your humble simp flock. It is quite a concept. You're certain that this list overwhelmingly consists of cishet males. You wonder how many of them are attractive. Can't possibly be more than a precious handful. You try to imagine these kings, these magnificent jewels in the rough. That they would bother following you, a complete loser and shithead with a bad attitude and even worse content, while they have the audacity to be good-looking and probably sensitive and misunderstood. You realize you're getting drunk enough to wonder if it's a good idea to reach out to your followers through a story post to see if anyone's nearby. Actually, that is not true. You don't wonder if it's a good idea. You're perfectly aware it isn't. What you mean is, you're getting drunk enough to know it's a bad idea, but do it anyway. Why waste another second bullshitting yourself about it? You know you're going to end up caving to yourself in this mental debate, so you just cut to the chase and do it. You prepare a cunning thirst trap and post it to your story. And if any of my followers live on this piece of shit island, hit me up. You check your DMs, and within minutes you collect about a dozen messages, all from the usual simpy suspects. Guys you were expecting a reply from no matter where they live. Really predictable shit going on here. I'm in Brazil, but but visiting as soon as I can. He dripping. Ugh. Something about this dude's face and demeanor pisses you off for reasons you can't put your finger on. So you block him. More of these replies are completely useless. Hang on. One guy here says he's from Brooklyn, Massachusetts. That's not far off, actually. There's something to work with here. And we are about to enter a whole other hellish conversation. So for now, because it's been an hour since the last time I took a break, and we still have a lot of this to go, I'm gonna take another 5-minute break here. Gonna go here, gonna go here, gonna go whoop. And I'll be back in 5. Hello. Back we are. And oh boy, it is posty time. Hang on. One guy here says he's from Brooklyn, Massachusetts. That's not far off, actually. There's something to work with here. Much depends on how invested this guy is. Maybe you could rope him into coming to the island soon. Ferry schedules vary throughout the year, but there's practically always one departing from Hyannis, which is probably about an hour's drive from Brooklyn. Maybe he could even make the trip today if his desperation level is high enough. Talking about connecting physically with a stranger in fucking pandemic times. Ugh. But then, it all depends on whether he's worth bothering with, doesn't it? It's quite a puzzle thinking about the factors in play. If he's hot enough, his desperation index could be very low. It might be like pulling teeth getting him down here, which would kill the impulsive allure of this dumb shit stunt. But if he's a ghoul, you could probably get him to swim here. But then, if that's the case, why would you go to such lengths to debase yourself like this? Oh, thank you, Krensu. Why indeed? It's an internally rhetorical question. Of course you would. Your thoughts turn again to your idol, dear sweet Post, a complete swamp goblin of a man. And yet, if he were in your kitchen right now, you have no doubt you'd ravage the poor fellow. He would probably be afraid of you. It would be better if he were afraid of you. Yeah, the fucking face that she's making here. Also, fucking yikes at all this stuff about Post Malone being in the kitchen. Your secret wish is that one day you hope to strike sexual intimidation into the heart of an American singer-songwriter, rapper, record producer, and actor known for his introspective songwriting and laconic vocal style. Yeah, fear. Yeah, no, it's not a what would Post Malone do thing. It's a what would I do if the person I simped for was right in front of me. Not that you would ever make such controversial remarks out loud. Not again, anyway. Not if you hope to have a brand someday. Fuck it, you say. You only get to ruin your life once, or sometimes, many times in rapid succession. But if that's the case, you like to think of it all as one long, grand act of ruination. And if you're really committed to daisy-chaining a series of life-hobbling mistakes together, you might as well make it count. Okay. And here is where the uwus begin. Oh, boy. Wokwin's not that far. Yeah. Just a drive and then a ferry. Yeah. I've never been there. Okay, don't will be Kate. Oh, cow. Typing. OMG, stop fucking typing, Posey. Clown. God, whoa. Over there writing a goddamn graduate thesis of like a complex, well-articulated response is gonna fucking mean fucking shit to me. Okay. Insane. Who do you think you are? I don't know. Just a guy who likes your content? My content is fucking twash and you know it. Not really. You look good. Posey. Dumb name. Sounds like the name of a cuck. Ugh, God, I hate that word coming from my mouth. What would the Nabisco thing do? What is the Nabisco thing? I'm not really getting this. Do you really mean all these insults? Or was this part of, is this what you're into? Jesus Christ, Posey. Shut the fuck up. I still have no idea if this is a good idea or of if you're wasting... I still have no idea if this is a good idea of if you're a waste of my fucking time. Alright. I'm going to choose not to take any of this personally, since you can't possibly know enough about me to form meaningfully negative opinions. Holy fucking shit, we got a lady killer. We go to lady killer over here. God. Posey, I'm flying through the panties. They just keep getting soaked due to your amorous repartee. Wow. Marwan, can you just send me a pic already? Oh, yeah. Hang on. Nabisco thing was an international biscuit company's attempt to make hip, trendy mascot to market to kids to the 90s and anthropomorphized version of their logo. Oh boy, what is this link? Ah. That is, it's a Nabisco thing. That's actually not horrible. I don't hate it. It's kind of cute, I guess. He looks like fucking combination of both Sweetbro and Hello Jeff. Like, with like the Sweetbro hair but the Hello Jeff red shirt. Warren from Life is Strange. Hey, that I'm right? You're so very welcome. Oh, there's a commercial with the Nabisco thing. I'll watch that later. But yeah, I mean, really, it's just like, you know, this is a generic man. Yeah, I have not played Life is Strange. That's one of those things that's like, should probably do that eventually. But, have not done that. I'll look at the Nabisco stuff afterwards. I want to friend zone this man just as hard. God. This selfie is corny as fuck. Fail. Bad. Zoe? Those epilepsies you put before Zoe are also corny. Don't get cute with me. Like, fuck, I'm not getting it. Do you think you're useful or whatever? Or charming? Like, you don't matter. Your little idiosyncrasies and quirks of personality do not matter. Take off your fucking shirt. Fucking DreamWorks facing. God. Lol. Oh, rip. Barf. Unpleasant. Ewamoe, or whatever. How the fuck do you pronounce that? Whatever. You aren't going to upset me. I get it now. You just like talking shit. It's your thing. That's cool. Go ahead and tell me how bad I look. I can take it. No, cuck. Oh god, I don't like that word coming out of my mouth. It's unpleasant. I'm not fucking with you. You literally just made me laugh so hard I puked in my macaroni. Okay, that's not true, but good one. Yeah, LaMayo. One guy, Alped Life is Strange. Such a dislike to Warren that he deliberately chose the Chloe ending because it gets boring. Oh! That's a big Life is Strange spoiler. Okay, that's not true, but good one. You did! That dumb fuck face. Yo, simp-ass fuckboy Casanova face, OMG. Ugh, dipshit, you're so dumb. I loud so much I barfed. Also, I drank too much. Well, you definitely do seem drunk, but I still don't believe you. I don't think you barfed. I think you were saying that for comical effect. To own me, if you will. To own me, if you will. Ugh. Bunch of fucking wanking emojis. Sorry for the spoiler. So good. You suck so bad, Posey. Posey. Widow Show's baby boy from Brooklyn. Posey. Simpy Pequi Nip Snout. Mommy would be so proud of you and your cute little nippies. Check this out, stupid. God, this conversation is like physically painful to get through. Like, talk about psychic fucking damage. When we talked earlier, you know, it was mentioned earlier that like Rev seemed to think that the characters in this were fucking insufferable. This shit, horrible. I actually kind of hate reading all of this. Oh, it says nips out, not nip snout. Oops. Nip snout is funnier though. You probably just Googled that. Nope, look. Well, okay, I believe you. Good one. Are you all white though? No, man, this isn't happening. What isn't? We aren't bonding over my fucking macaroni puke. Like, this isn't the moment we're having. This isn't a moment we're having. We aren't at becoming friends, and you aren't going to fuck me. Bye, Puss. Yeah. Ha ha ha. Aw. The worst part is that, unlike Dave, Z doesn't have the excuse of being a young teenager for acting like such an ass, I guess, yeah. It's extremely painfully awkward in a way that really sells the moment. I guess. I mean, I guess I'm just like... I guess my issue is, like, I just do not understand the mindset that someone would just, like, do this and, like, treat a random stranger like this. Oh, I forgot to turn the fucking music back on. God damn it, I was so proud of myself for remembering the first time. I mean, it's the same track still, but God. I mean, I know that they go into kind of explaining the ideology as, like, in this continuing narrative text here. But makes sense when you remember she's tipsy right now. Oh yeah, that's true. That is another factor. She's kind of drunk. The shenanigan is complete, you suppose. It can be a rush to pull shit like this for reasons you couldn't really explain, but the rush is always short-lived. What soon fills the void it leaves behind is that unmistakable feeling of self-loathing and disgust. It's all a joke, isn't it? Your life, your brand. Come to think of it, you're not sure which of those two words is more deserving of derisive quotes. Maybe your quest to build a brand is childish, more vainglorious clout-seeking, contributing to the loud and labored rasp of Western civilization's last dinosaurial gasp. Maybe you should just delete all your accounts. It's not the first time you've had the thought, but it will be the last. The last thought you have before you pass out, that is. still does imply that without her inhibitions, Z is the kind of person who would do this. Yeah. Sometimes I like to randomly talk to my Twitter followers when I'm drunk, but this shit I do not pull. And yeah, I can see Z doing this sober too. Big pre-election energy. Oh, right. Music back just in time. Indeed. There is something coming up. There's a little change coming up. But yeah, it really, like, thinking about all this, your life is, the short-lived rush followed by self-loathing and disgust, everything being a joke of vainglorious cloud singing, and maybe you should just delete everything. Thinking of that, and then thinking of how a lot of this stuff has the feeling of being kind of autobiographical for Hussie. And it's kind of like, is he feeling this way? And bonk. And we enter a dream realm with a dream self of sorts, looking down at the Jubilite manifesto, and the music getting very intense. Like the idea that the ideas about social media he puts out here coexist with his statement about being immune to all the hate he gets. That's true, yeah, his whole statement about being immune to this stuff. Because, I mean, really, you can claim immunity all you want, but, like... And, I mean, people can get desensitized to a lot, but... like, the individual comments probably don't get to him, but it just makes him want to quit cold turkey every so often because of how dumb the bigger picture is. He's got immunity, but it cost him. Yeah. Yep. Oh, right, this was the music in the game trailer. As an aside. That's what you're getting from the juxtaposition. Yeah. Jubilite manifesto. Her own drunken form. The table becomes the manifesto. I'm simply maxed out there, Vim. Yes, problem solved. And slowly everything in the room is becoming the Jubilite manifesto. There's a figure at the door with bleeding eyes. And gone. But the ceiling is now removed. They are in space. They are flying up and away. Your work is unfinished. And we're back. Your work is unfinished. With all that Jubilite manifesto imagery. Honk. Honk indeed. All that Clowny manifesto energy. That was a hell of a dream. You haven't had one like that in years. Not since all that terrible stuff was happening in your life. Not since your dad was sick and you were deliriously hammering away at your manifesto. So it's not surprising the dream included both. Ugh, you hate dreaming about him. Always with the body horror shit. And then at the end, the strange man floating in space. The ephemeral muse himself. Could he really be back? What does this mean? Wait, what time is it? Oh god, it's dark. How long did you black out? Ugh, looks like Abby's already tried messaging you a couple times. Your head hurts and your mouth still tastes like cheese-flavored barf. And they're video calling. But yes. Saying your work is unfinished. And she's saying, could he be back? More going on with the disease past than we thought. Oh, I mean, I already picked up on, like, definitely heavy implications before this, even, of something from the past is gonna come back to haunt. But yeah, for sure. Spooky, spooky indeed. Wow, you look like fucking shit. Thanks. Everything okay? I puked in a pot of macaroni and fell asleep for a few hours. Now it's dark. Really productive day all around. Oh yeah. I also have some vague recollection of tormenting a semi-local simp who slid into my DMs. Lol. Slid? I saw your thirst trap, fool. It seems unusually desperate, even by your standards. Made me worry. So you started pelting my unconscious body with chat invites. It's cool, you're my mom now. Well, somebody has to be. That hag who physically birthed you fucked off, right? The fucking off was mutual. When was the last time she talked to you? Not since the incident. Works fine for me. You can be my mom. You're hotter and have much more clout anyway. True. As if I could spare a single precious second of my day for ugly bitches. LMAO. Whereas ugly men are obviously a different story. Obviously. Is Post Malone still your lock screen? Yeah. Ugh, you got that shit all backwards. The nasty NSFW art should be your lock screen, and Post should be the unlock. So much more embarrassing and obscene if anybody catches you in public with Post in your phone. So you said. You're right, of course, but I don't give a shit. I love him. He's a sublime gargoyle, an exquisite heap of human garbage, the perfect affront to all of my senses. Your taste is so bad. You're completely unfathomable. It's like, you need a 0 or a 10 and that's it. Anything in between and you're like contemptuously asexual. I don't know if I really like the wording of that, but not inaccurate. What about the simp you were toying with? How'd he look? Average, little below maybe. Real uncanny valley stuff. Totally standard reply boy fare. He might have been nice though? I don't remember. Well, they're always nice. Doesn't mean shit. I know. You said he's local? You going anywhere with this or pulling the plug? The latter, I'm sure. Maybe you should modify your standards a bit and reel him in. We're in fucking quarantine lockdown, Abby. So? This thing is all kinda overblown. We aren't supposed to, like, go to concerts and shit and get sneezed on by huge groups of people or whatever. I don't see much harm in hanging out with a few people on an individual basis from time to time. Oh god, the conversation keeps going, but the way that Abby talks about COVID and talks about quarantine from the perspective of past April, watching the horrors of the year play out, it makes me fucking hate her. Gonna be real. The use is iffy, but the term is quite the mouthfeel. But yeah, I mean, like, if you've played it before, you'll know how the conversation plays out. And if you haven't, you're about to fucking see. But yeah, gotta be real. Kind of really fucking hate her at this point in the story. Because of all of this. Like, you just can't personally disconnect from it. It just hits too fucking hard, and God. And by this, I assume you mean, what do you think? What, you think I haven't been keeping myself entertained? I still have people over all the time. Pretty dumb shit, Abs. What, you surprised to hear you're still an atrocious slut? Not at all. But your parents are supposed to be the ones claimed by the boomer remover, not you. Oh. Yeah, that sure was a term that people were using for a little bit there. Pretty glad that I feel like people relatively quickly realized from the state of things that it's completely fucking atrocious term, the boomer remover. Like, I get it, we make funny boomer jokes, but like, this is not a joke, it's actually fucking killing people, and I'm pretty glad that I didn't like it when it started going around, and I'm especially glad that nobody fucking uses this anymore, at least not where I'm hanging out. Because, yikes, no, like, it's not fucking funny. You can't just die off before you can take all their money. Please don't do that to me. I'll be fine. I'll get a little cough and that's it. Big deal. Oh, wait. Maybe then I can infect them. Oh, actually, now you're using your fucking brain for once. Yeah, and then Z joining in with this also is making me, like, kind of really hate them. Because, yeah, pretty damn shit happens indeed. Fools like her taking pandemic. She has enough money to not worry about COVID. Imagine quarantining in a mansion. God. Yeah. Realize that just because they're less likely to die from COVID than baby boomers are, we're more likely to suffer lifelong health problems after recovering. Yep. That is also true. Also, yeah, we definitely don't get the impression that Z is a great person. Yeah. Yeah. Not a fan of the entire rest of the way that the entire rest of the conversation goes. Like, Seriously though, when was the last time you hooked up with anybody? I seem to remember you were very busy, what, last summer? I guess that was the last time. I haven't really been in the mood since then. You kept updating me on the revolving door of weird dude you were picking up from the restaurant. I missed that. The stories were so good. Yeah, it was a real circus in here for a while, but I don't need shit like that in my life at the moment. Did your boss even know you were picking up her gross male customers? As far as I know, she never found out. Doesn't matter. She's dead now anyway. What? Did you hear something, or...? No, it's just the reality I have chosen to believe in. Pretty sure I'm quitting that job even if she reappears. I don't give a fuck anymore. Good move. I highly recommend not having a job and never planning to have one in the future ever. You're rich. I also highly recommend being rich. Working on it. Not hard enough, apparently. You got a straight shot to riches right here, bitch. Just marry into my fortune. Won't even make you sign a prenup. What TV tropes used to call 20 minutes with jerks, the part of the story that sets up all the characters before the horror starts. That's super generous, but no thanks. I want to make my millions the honest way, by helping you rip off your parents. Yeah, but all that does is give me their money. Where's that leave you without the marriage certificate, huh? Nowadays it's called developing doomed characters because not every character in a horror story is a jerk. Oh, that's easy. You'll just give it to me because you wanna. I mean, yeah, probably. Z, I'll miss that restaurant if you never go wait tables there again. I won't. It's where we met, remember? Yep. Why didn't you pick me up that day, huh? Why'd you have to friend zone me so hard? Fucking brutal. Because you're an ugly rich cunt and I probably thought you looked smelly that day? Bullshit. You dragged every sewer creature you waited on back to your place. Lol, and you have the audacity to call me a slut. You are. So are you. I'm really not a slut per se, so much as a person with an especially punitive set of self-harming patterns. Oh. Well, if you hate yourself so much, why not, self-harm a bit with me sometime? Because I'm a filthy homophobe? This is a matter of public record, remember? Lol, no you're not. Sure I am. I hate gays. No you don't. And of course all of this is incredibly sarcastic conversation between two queer people. Well, you're gay and I hate you. I'm not even gay. You're gay enough. Don't erase my bisexuality. I'll erase whatever the fuck I want. Wow, I like it. If we ever actually slept together, I'd fucking annihilate your bisexuality. You'd become a permanent lesbian. Whoa, Z. This is getting out of hand. This will never happen, Abby. I am deeply committed to being a problematically homophobic heterosexual piece of shit who sometimes enjoys the company of ambiguously reptilian men. Besides, you're my mom, remember? Oh yeah. Can't exactly fuck my mom now, can I? I'm deep enough into cancellation purgatory as it is. Yeah, I would never do that to you. As my daughter, you are my responsibility. Hey, seeing as we now clearly no longer care about quarantine, so that I can catch this disease ASAP and kill my parents, why don't you come over tonight? I can cook something for you. Probably something better than macaroni barf. I don't know. Come on. My place is huge and expensive and extremely empty. Doesn't that sound better than wallowing in your nasty little depression cave? I guess. Maybe we could snap some content by the beach tomorrow. You know how the Sims always love the beach shit. Yeah, but I don't think I'll be putting out content like that anymore. I'm thinking of revamping the whole brand. Oh? Yeah, I just had this crazy fucking dream. It was so wild. I think my subconscious was trying to tell me something important. I don't know if it's a good idea, technically, but I think I'm obligated to do it now. The shit was too powerful to just write off. Do what? Might end up going to bed and just listening to sleep. Kissing ground re-ending. It's all good. I know this is going way the fuck over time. We are getting close to the end, though, for those who are still sticking around. Thanks for hanging around, and we are getting close to the end. If you haven't played already, I will notify you we are getting close to the end. Yeah, we should finish before 2:30 for sure, I'm thinking. But yes, understood. It is late. Sleep well, and good night. And thank you so much for coming and hanging out, Beef. Because I am a nerd with nothing better to do. It's all good. Yes, good night. Good night. Oh, goodness. Oh, pardon me. Talking about sleep, making me yawn. Remember my manifesto? Oh god, that thing? Yeah, I know. It's all pretty out there, but I think there's something to work with there. Well, if it gets you to come over here and helps you pull yourself together, then I'm all for it. I support you no matter what. What a pal. The true test of friendship is if you can humor each other's manifestos. Well, you humor mine, don't you? Oh yeah, I'm all fucking about the truth of Jim Cook's secret the truth of Jim Cook's secret romance. Well, G Cook actually, but yes, thank you for the crucial support. I will say, your place is the fucking bomb. Do you think your parents will vacation there again this summer, or are they Rona spooked like everyone else? Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they hunkered down at the family compound all summer. Good riddance if so. Still, amazes me that they're okay with you just squatting in their $10 million vacation home, like, permanently. The fuck are they even gonna do about it? I have the keys and I am a grown woman who does as she pleases. No arguing with that. I bet they must feel like they're getting a great return on that Harvard biz degree they brought you. Yeah, fuck that. I'm doing some numbers, motherfuckers. My brand is popping. Something tells me they're unimpressed by your meteorically accumulated clout. Yeah, they take a huge boomer shit all over it any chance they get. I really wonder what they, wanted? What they were picturing? I'd leave school and slide into an Amazon VP spot or some shit? They probably could have made something like that happen if you were so inclined. I mean, maybe, but what the fuck do they think business is? I'm doing business here. People like my brand. This is how you make shit happen. I can build on this to do whatever. Later. I didn't even need my fucking degree. At least you finished it. Which mainly served the purpose of staving off their massive disappointment in you. Instead, they're only mildly disappointed. Yeah, I'm sorry about all that. It's alright, I ended up saving them a lot of money by psychologically imploding halfway through. MIT is actually super expensive if you weren't aware. Oh yeah, one time my parents looked into buying it. I mean the tuition, you buffoon. I know! God, Z, remember we promised to always know when we were joking? I always thought Abby had little fangs first, like when she's smiling. Interesting. I hadn't, gotten that impression. Oh, anyways. Here we are. Found the page. Oh, the default state. Oh, here. Yeah. Interesting. Oh, yeah. Anyway, it's not like they had the kind of money your parents did to throw at an expensive education. They had to work hard for that, as they reminded me often. I'll be an eternal failure to them, which means they're failures too. Oh well. The problem half solved itself, so who really gives a fuck? Huh? I strongly recommend having at least one dead parent. Oh. 2 is ideal, but what can you do? Aside from contemplating casual biological warfare? Yeah, my mom would never succumb to the Rona though. Not her style. Still so funny to me that your plan to get away from all that life drama was to come here of all places. All that melodramatically fuck this life, I'm running away to an island, which makes you think of a remote island in the Pacific or something. Yeah, I mean, that was just the... that was the plan. At one point I was looking at Guam. Then I settled on Fiji as the ideal getaway place, but that didn't really pan out. It's either closed mouth smile or open mouth with fangs. Just super pixely lipstick, but now get it like an optical illusion. Yeah. The comment about Guam is interesting because someone mentioned that Hussie, when one of the commentary, he was like, I lived in Guam for a bit. Did I really? Am I joking? Am I serious? Can you take anything I say seriously? So I don't know. He may or may not have lived in Guam for a little bit. That might be part of the autobiographical stuff. Fiji sounds nice. Yeah, Fiji's the fucking shit. But then you just hopped on a ferry to the nearest island possible. It was cheap. Poor, remember? Whoa. Oh no. Pardon me. Yeah, I gotta go to bed right after this. I was hoping to maybe get some homework done, but that was when I thought I was gonna actually end on time. But then you just hopped on. Oh yes. Lol. You think she still keeps up with you? Like, spies on your accounts? I'm sure my mom has no idea they even exist. It was almost a moot point though. Before my wild dream, I was thinking about just deleting them all. What? I just get that way sometimes. Aside from my wild ideas, which should probably never see the light of day, I'm actually just so fucking boring. No, you're so funny. You are such an untapped resource. It's a crime you have been going to waste. I know you've been through some shit, but there are ways to rebound from that. Yeah, but I still agonize stupidly and wonder if I should just question the source of this torment. The internet is just fucking wild. It just sits there as a bedeviling temptation. This massive, ominously humming well of satanic potential just beckoning you constantly. And if you aren't using it in some way to make something of yourself or elevate your identity somehow, it makes you feel like you're wasting a huge opportunity or something, or even wasting your life. It's like you were just saying, like, I'm so funny and therefore it's a waste if I just fucking log off. But a waste of what? The system makes me feel like I'm wasting a resource by withholding myself from the system. But what if the system is what's wasting me? Damn. So maybe I should listen to the sane voice in my head instead of the insane ones. That's like, yeah, very big late capitalism thing. Feeling like you're wasting something by not monetizing it. Or taking advantage of it for some sort of systemic boost. Yeah, that's a really shitty feeling to have to deal with. Like, forget that weird dream. Just delete all of this shit and try to get my life together in a more normal way. That's all totally fair. I hear you, but even if you wanted to go full normie, it's not like society's even functioning normally right now anyway. Ugh, God damn it. Yeah, you're right. I'm not trying to invalidate you here, just saying, like... Wait, hang on. Before you decide on anything, I want to show you something. Following... 68% battery? Come on. Oh shit. You just followed me on Maine? Yeah. You sure you're ready to take this kind of heat? I did it just after we talked. I felt like a fucking tool. But nobody's even noticed yet. Well, maybe it'll never even come up. Yeah, you're a paranoid bitch. So am I, maybe. Probably been overthinking this. Also, I decided something else. If you really do decide to relaunch your brand, even if it's a bunch of crazy shit, I'll give you some shoutouts. I don't care if people think it's weird. That's what friends do. They support each other. Wow. Don't worry about figuring it out now, though. Just come over. I'm bored and I miss you, and you need to eat something real for a change. Well, alright, I'll head over. Yay! Oh, but don't drive drunk. Get a lift or something. Or I can just pick you up. Don't worry, Mom, I'm fine. The nap sobered me up. You promise? Yeah. Okay, heading out. The beginning of the end. Here we fucking go. You kill the video chat. It leaves a loud silence behind. Maybe it's the sound of the ominously humming well of satanic potential you just described to your friend. A sound you can hear all the time, but only now are paying close attention to. Everything you said to her was true, of course. You believe it with every fiber of your being. The internet is evil. You have always known this, and the louder the silence gets, the more you begin to wonder if it's the only thing you've ever truly believed in with any real passion. Aside from all of this, of course, the Jubilite Manifesto. Alright, maybe you aren't as sober as you led Abby to believe. Still, you should be good to drive. Ugh. You grab your manifesto. You'll need to spend a few days brushing up on the material if you're serious about this, which you're still not sure if you are yet, but it won't hurt to bring it along and start reading. As you exit the apartment, you can't shake the feeling that everything is about to change. You have the feeling it's going to be a long day. Maybe it's the fact that you haven't been out in a long time, but leaving your depression nest tonight carries the uncanny feeling of stepping into the unknown. You're glad you took your manifesto, if only because leaving empty-handed would make you feel vulnerable. As it stands, you suppose this is the closest thing to a weapon you ever had. And off we go. Manifesto kind. Of course, the dreaming of the dad again. Reaches for the manifesto, out comes the gun. Murder. Notice that it is 4:20 o'clock. Would be 4:20 in the morning at this point. Yeah, she just stole that car. Chapter 1. Got the crown up in the sky. Got that sword from the beginning, from the chapter title card. To be continued. Check the website for the update schedule. And we're back to the beginning. Now I have to know where this goes. Yeah, how's everyone feeling about that ending? Kind of... yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's definitely, you know, I was, you know, talking about, with Beef about this a little bit as well. There's definitely something, like, a little off feeling about a white person publishing and writing out all this kind of ending within this context, our current cultural context, and with the quote-unquote racial characters. But I mean, I think it just, you know, I'm interested in seeing where the story goes, interested in getting further context on, like, all of this, because we have, like, no context for a whole lot of... There were a lot of little crumbs in there about, like, where is this going? Like, okay, so she was supposed to just be heading over to Abby's house. What's she gonna do now? Like, are they just gonna walk there now? Soaking wet, holding a manifesto in one hand and a gun in the other? Like, damn. Yeah, and we have less than a week to wait until the next chapter. This coming Wednesday. Next chapter, Psycholonials 2. Psycholonials Chapter 2. But yeah. Now I have to know where it goes. Yeah, pretty apt description. When I finished reading it for the first time, it took a while for me to get to that point, though, because it was still like, okay, hold on. What the fuck? What the fuck? But, hiding up in the mansion, pretending she's not there. Something vaguely disconcerting about a character in that art style, holding a modern 9mm police pistol. I gotta say, though, I think my favorite piece of art in this entire chapter is her face. Her, you know, just angry, determined, the water coming down her face, that one panel. Oh, wow. Yeah, so anyone else have finishing thoughts? Because I'm very happy that my prediction of how long this would take actually stuck the second time when I said that I was fairly certain we'd be done by 2:30, and it is indeed 2:30, and we are indeed done, so that's nice. It's nice when that happens. But yeah, so closing thoughts, I guess. Gonna continue streaming this. You know, we'll see where the story goes. I don't know whether or not Abby or Z will get more likable. Right now, they're both in my bad books because of, like, I just can't have that level of level of separation between the personal, like, the shit about joking about the pandemic and killing their parents and all this stuff. That just really got me. I fucking hate that. So we'll see where the story goes. When you're used to Jade's collection of old bolt lever rifles. Yeah, in this art style, yeah. So Psycholonials Chapter 2, I will still stream it next Friday. Before then, though, we have tomorrow is back to Homestuck Reread. We're approaching the Doc Scratch segment. We're getting real close to that final stretch of Act 5, Act 2. You avoid influencers like the herb plague. Yeah. And Wednesday, continuing Sonic. Hopefully my hand is okay to play. Although, you know, playing it co-op with my brother was like a fun experience. That was a very successful experiment. But, you know, I also hope my hand is feeling better for the sake of not being functional. Or for the sake of, you know, returning to being functional. But yes. That's what's coming up. Homestuck Reread tomorrow, Sonic on Wednesday, and back to Psycholonials next Friday. Alrighty. I am gonna fucking go to bed now. I thought that I could get some homework done after stream, but not happening. So, on that note, I'm gonna fucking go to sleep. This will be, oh yes, Psycholonial streams will be posted to YouTube. That's another thing. So this will be up in a few days probably. Have a lovely rest of your day, whatever you may be getting up to. Have a good sleep if that's what you're getting to doing, etc. Yeah. Oh, interesting thoughts. As far as I can tell about Z's past, her father died of a horrific disease, and this has affected her psyche heavily since then. Hence why they wrote a manifesto, and then their life just fell apart. Yeah, that's true. I hadn't considered it from that perspective, but that's true. Fell into a feedback loop, which has now spiraled to cop killing. You know, always with the body horror. Yeah, there's something, some sort of element of that, yeah. And however their dad was sick. Yes. Yes, maybe we will find out more about that next time. Gonna joke about the coffee MSPA reader. Oh no. No, MSPA reader's not cough adjacent. How dare you make that comparison? That's an insult to MSPA reader. But yeah, the music in the title screen is very calming. Anyhow, I shall sign off. What a story to go to bed on, indeed. I am probably going to pop on some Mabim Bam to go to sleep. But yes. Thanks so much for hanging out. My goodness, this is a long one. Fingers crossed that they're not all this long. And that we can... We did spend an entire half an hour talking about community news. That was a part of it today as well. Yes, MSPA readers, not bastard. Good night. Use ambient noise when you need help sleeping. Yeah, there was a time where I was using, my final link. One last link for y'all in chat, before we close out for today. Vapid Bobcat on YouTube. I really enjoy their I guess it was been uploaded. Oh my god, 1 year ago. I had no idea it was that fucking old. 1 hour of relaxing Animal Crossing night music and night ambience sounds. And it's like campfire sounds and like birds and shit. That one I used a lot during the summer. As a nice one to fall asleep to. And Vapid Bobcat just in general has a lot of those kinds of like ambient noise videos. They have some that are just like, you know, like 1 hour of cute and relaxing Yoshi music. Calming Nintendo music mix for winter. They do it's all Nintendo music mixes. Nintendo music to empty your head to. So they're, you know, some of them have the extra sound, some of them don't, but they do pretty well curated musics. And they're enjoyable. Oh, I hate that. What is that? The ambient noise. Ugh. Anyhow. Yeah, Vapid Bobcat, if you're is specifically Nintendo, but you know, does generally do Domino's old mascot. Does very well curated playlists. Yeah. And they have a few videos that are like, they call them like 8D, and it's just like, you know, the music that does the cool thing with the headphones with the different sounds in each ear. Constantly trying to ruin Domino's Pizza. Yeah, I know, 8D, I don't know why they picked 8D, but that's how they refer to it. Oh, like directions. Oh, that's good. Oh, pardon me, I'm going to bed. Y'all, I'm fucking going to sleep. It is sleep time, motherfuckers. Okay. Once again, thanks for chilling with me late into the night. Have a lovely rest of your day, whatever you may be getting up to. And fingers crossed, I'll be seeing you all right back here for more shenanigans with Homestuck Reread. Marching forward tomorrow. Hope you all enjoyed today, and I will see you around.